Hey, man.
All right, I think I can hear you now.
Hey.
What the hell?
Mirror.
What
Buenos dias.
Son
the
of a bitch.
hell is up with
Like I was hearing you guys just fine, and then I got logged off, and then I couldn't hear you guys.
I gotta get my dice. Give me a second.
But everybody's okay now on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it.
We good, man. We good.
Well, that's good.
1 die, 2 die.
I've heard of Google Plus being unstable, but I don't.
Yeah. It is
It's
unstable.
you who is unstable.
I think so, man. I think I'm just not allowed to have Google Plus anymore.
Aww. That's not cool.
So let it be written, so let it be done. Tim Harper should not have
That's no
Google
fair.
Plus Hangouts.
There's a problem with this call. Hold on while we try to call back. Hey, can you guys hear me still?
Yeah.
Why the hell is it telling me that there's a problem with the call?
Sorry, guys. I was fucking around with my image because I wanted to have a proper image on it.
That's all good. That's all good. Don't worry about it.
Everybody's freaking out, man.
Hey, do we need a recap of what happened last time or no?
I'm not sure because we've all watched Tim's recap video and
Excellent.
that sort of stuff. So,
I think we're pretty good, yeah.
Awesome. Well then, why don't we start?
Something. Because I'm not sure if everybody's gone to the forum to check it. That the thing that Roger wrote there about what his character has been up to while we were, going around, me and Tim.
Yeah, Rocky, why don't you remind me what you're up to? What you
Yeah, sure. Let me just get it. 'Cause I need to be constant. Pretty much during breakfast, she'll inform her 3 siblings about the fact that Marcus has left and gone to take care of some business, and that she was asked to be in charge of these things. And she will pretty much give everybody, all 3 of her siblings, a task to do. Starting with Marianne, where she informs her that she wants her to spend time with Lady Woodtower, because we've been such horrible hosts to her and that sort of stuff. And just, have fun with her and keep her pretty much occupied. Nathan, she asks to find information about John Aaron and learn who this man actually is, because I take it we don't have a detailed information about him and that sort of stuff, and kind of like how he became the Hand of the King and why, and who are his friends and who are his enemies and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And Edgum, I will have asked to. By the way, I'm going from youngest to oldest, just so if I have an idea, because I take it I know Edgum pretty well.
Yeah,
if I have an idea, he feels bad about me giving him orders.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. He's gonna.
Yeah, so I will not ask him where the others are present, and I will of course play to his. I'm an important man, because she would have asked him to, seeing as the situation that we are in, we might actually expect to be, there might be a surprise attack on our lands. So she will have asked him, see how important he is and that sort of stuff, to, check the guards and check everything, if everything's in order and that sort of stuff. So hopefully he'll be busy with that.
Cool.
And myself and the Maester will be interviewing the staff of our castle and the surroundings. And one of the tricks that she's going to use is that she has food present there, kind of posh food that usually only she and her and the noble ones eat. And she'll offer them food, and she'll see how comfortable they are taking it, and just to give her all of this together, giving her an idea of what these people are and how well they're to be trusted and that sort of thing.
Awesome.
So that's what she's doing during the day, and during dinner she'll try to see how far everybody is, and after dinner she'll spend time with Marianne. She'll probably have got her sugarcane or something that she can enjoy, and kind of listen about what Lady Woodtower has been up to.
Okay.
And she'll also try to find out what makes Edgum tick. What are his likes, his dislikes, and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you know all about your brother Edgum. It's always a sense where if you get something into his head, like he's easily, I don't want to say he's easily manipulated, but you can really get him going easily. So you kind of figured out what his quirks would be. Like if you tell him at any time that someone said something about you, he might not confront that person. He'd have like an eternal grudge to the rest of his life. He's very keen on his own image and his own, I guess, bravado.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's young, you know that if he gets old enough, if there's ever a point where he is in charge of the house, you can imagine the house just toppling through constant mistakes and battles and all that. So he's the family cringe, I guess you could say.
Right.
But while you were doing this interviewing process with the various people of the house, you had Lillian Rivers in your room. And the Maester would have left because Lillian is a guest of the house. You have no idea where she came from. But the last name Rivers suggests that she probably came from the Riverlands. And while she's not really like an honored guest, she is a guest nonetheless, but she's kind of placed herself in this awkward position where she's been living with you guys for a few months, and she's trying to make herself useful to the house, almost like a servant would. So she always kind of asks what there can be done and tends to assist the servants of the household. And as the Maester has gone now, it's just you and Lillian. And the odd thing about her is not herself, but the fact that there's a knight that always follows her about. So there's a guy standing in your doorway, and your shadow cat is basically laying there in the center of your room, kind of staring at this knight who's always dressed in a suit of armor. You know he's not threatening. You've been basically with just him before. He's never said anything, never done anything aggressive. He just seems to always shadow Lillian wherever she goes. But after your interview process, when it's just you and her and this knight in the doorframe, she's staring outside the window. Maybe you guys have been talking about some just, pleasantries or whatever. But as she's staring outside the window, she says, she's pretty. And you can tell that she's looking at Alyssa Woodtower down beneath, probably playing with Marianne.
So everybody keeps telling me.
She glances back at you, presents you with a smile. Is it true? Is she the Lady Woodtower?
Seeing as as Lillian is part of my interview, if I asked her to be part of the interview, I take it I trust her, right?
Well, she's been around for 2 months. She's been very friendly. It seems like she... why don't you make me an awareness roll, and I'll just tell you what you probably think.
Let's see. Awareness. 14.
Okay. You get the sense that she probably trusts you more than you trust her. she's not open about her past, you might get the sense that she's running from something. Why else would she have a knight attached to her at all times? But yeah, she did ask, "Is it true? Is she the Lady Woodar?"
She claims to be.
She presents you with a very thin smile and walks towards where your bed is and just, folds some of your clothes for the wash. And her face is kind of distant, like she's thinking about something. And once your clothes are folded, it's with that roll of 14 awareness, you can tell that she whispered something. You barely picked up what it is, but you're pretty certain that she said, "I used to be a lady," when she folded up your attire.
May I ask you something, Lily?
Yes.
Your friend, I look at the knight. Who is he?
She takes a breath and, still holding your clothes neatly folded, even though it's going to be going to the laundry, she folded them neatly, and she's holding them kind of to her chest as she approaches you, and she's standing kind of between you and your cat. She says, he's silence. He can't speak. He's my protector.
Why would a girl like you need protection?
She turns her head back towards the knight and then back towards you. She says, "I have a troubling background. I have to protect myself and my child."
Your child?
She nods. You would be aware that she came with like a baby to your household. But she nods to you, and she looks down into the clothes and very faintly says, "He's an heir."
Really? Heir to what?
Make me another awareness check. It's going to be slightly contested. It's a very quick intrigue. You got to be 12.
I got 13.
Okay, wow. Okay. She kind of looks into your eyes, and you can see that her expression is kind of faint. And she says, "My father died in a battle. It was just me. I was the only heir to the house. As a woman, my stepbrother took the house directly from under me. There was nothing left for me to do but have a male heir to claim it back. Silence lost his tongue." She kind of glances back towards him, and you can tell that he straightens up. And when he's like straight, she looks back to you and says, there was an invasion of the Riverlands a few years ago. And as her eyes are kind of linked on yours, she says, "I was the only heir to a house. But as a woman, my stepbrother cast me out."
I nod. I'm sorry to hear that.
She kind of steps towards you. She gets closer to you and says, "I can tell that you're strong. I can tell that you've been running this house in the absence of your brothers and your father quite well. And if there's anything that you want me to do, as part of my service to your household, I will do it.
I stand up and I walk towards her. Is she taller than me? Shorter than me?
She's about... How tall is your character right now?
I don't know in feet. About, I think she would be about 170 or something in meters. 170 meters.
Okay. No, she's shorter than you a little bit.
Okay. I walk towards her and I touch her cheek and say, "There is something you could do for me.
Speak it, and I'll do it."
Raise that boy of yours and get back your land."
She nods slowly, but kind of, you can tell that her eyes are a little distant, and I believe that it will be very difficult to get those lands back. My brother, well, he's tied closely with the Lannisters now. There's no way I can stand against that.
Lannisters. I spit on the ground and I say, "Well, we'll see what we can do about that."
She glances into your eyes, and you can see that she's got like a hopeful smile. "I don't want you to get involved in my troubles. I came here just to raise my boy in peace."
And raise him you will. And in due time we'll see if we can get him a nice house that he can rule by himself.
She gives you a nod, and kind of, while not fumbling, you can tell that she's almost like passively like shifting the clothes from one arm to the other. Thank you, Alena. I won't bother you any longer. I know you have others to speak to.
Thank you for your help so far. What did you think of? I'll mention the name of one of the servants I had my doubts with.
She tells you that she trusts your judgment in your servants. Whatever you choose is probably the right judgment. I've only been here for a few months. I can't judge a man by that time.
I understand. Well, thank you for your help.
She kind of exits, and silence follows in her shadow. And throughout this few days where your brothers have been gone, you've managed the household adequately. You've experienced no troubles. And remember last time you said that you want to expand your spy network and all that stuff?
Yeah. Well, that's actually the primary reason why she's been interviewing the servants.
Okay.
Because she considered the fact that as much as she wants to expand her spy network, she needs to be clear that her own house is as safe as possible. So I'll be making a list of people I don't trust or I think might be on somebody else's payroll.
So as far as your inner house, or your, the top tier of people in your household, the biggest issue you would have received would have been from Alma Bravehand, the house steward, the master of coin. But with your awareness, you're pretty certain that it's not like that she's a spy or anything, but she probably has issues dealing with another woman in a position of power higher than hers.
Mm-hmm.
She answers all your question, everything you ask her, she answers, but it's almost has like a cold kind of tint to it. But that's been basically your interaction with her throughout these weeks. And it's not that your interaction with her has been this, just cold throughout your entire existence. It's just when you received this kind of control of the house for the first time ever, even though it's only for like 5 days or so.
Mm-hmm.
She's been a little awkward with you.
All right.
But other than that, everybody seems to be fine. from the inner house. So there are some servants that you might be kind of questioning, but it seems like they're like any other workers. You give them money and they'll do the work.
All right, well that's fair enough. Then I'll spend my time also in the village a bit and teach Marianne how to swim and that sort of stuff.
So you would have heard all about the murder.
Probably, yeah.
It's the village and all that. While they're not abuzz about a murder having happened, you get the sense that, well, you know that murders kind of happen in this place, at least for a year with the crime rate. So it's probably something that wouldn't linger on your mind for too long. But now that, after you've done that and after your brothers have returned, I believe last time we left off, everybody went to bed.
Yeah, and I think we returned so late that, it was like believable that we just came home and, didn't run into anybody like Alena or people like that. We just pretty much straightforward went to bed.
So, Brandr, you're not quite sure if you're sleeping or if you're awake. It was a very tiring night. But the first sense of yours that's assaulted is your ears, for all you hear is whoosh, whoosh. And as you kind of like zone into the sound, you find yourself once again in the frozen wastes of the north, most likely. It's just you, and you've got snow cascading down on you with this great speed that stings your cheeks. And you know that when you sleep, you're not supposed to feel anything. It's just a sensation. It's your mind playing games from what your maester tells you. But you can feel this. You can feel cold. You are shivering, and the snow is peppering your face. And as it's peppering your face and you glance about, you look into the direction that your friend Mord wandered off to in search of the other Night's Watchmen that went on ahead. And while your friend Mord has disappeared, you start to see a silhouette of someone approaching you. And it's not Mord. This is like, it's not stumbling, it's not shambling, but it's kind of walking in a way that seems quite unusual to you, as if it's not affected by this winter storm that's coming at you. And your legs are shivering, and there's this sense of fear that overcomes you.
Ooh. In the dream, can I speak?
Oh yeah, it's just consider this a waking dream. This is a scene for you. You can do whatever you want.
Who goes there? Who is it? Who are you?
As it moves in closer and closer to you, you begin to see that its left arm is so skinny that you wonder if this person, this thing that's approaching you is suffering from some sort of frostbite, but he's stepping as if he's completely unaffected, and you begin to see the arm kind of while not flex, it moves up and then kind of towards you, as if it's pointing at you, and it's then that you begin to see that the eyes have an unnatural blue kind of tint to them. It's almost like someone has lit a light source, a blue flame inside this person's skull. It's very much unnatural, very much supernatural as it's approaching you. And while you can't hear anything, because all you hear is, you can't hear this creature, all you hear is whoosh, as the snow is peppering you with a strong wind. In your mind, you get the sense that this guy has called out your name, is going to claim you.
I think I turn tail and just try to run as fast away from him, away from my brothers. Just run off, just anywhere away. I just instead of fight, definitely choosing flight. I'm just running as fast as I can.
So as you're going through the snow, just, you're not stumbling, but you're making your way away from the scene, and you're leaving heavy footprints in the snow, and you have really no idea where it is you're going, because your vision is pretty much right up close to your face, maybe like 5 feet away. But eventually, as you've been running for what seems a while, at least 10 minutes or so, your legs are they feel like you've done a thorough exercise, and that's when you begin to see a crevice ahead of you. It's almost like a little cave, and as you see it, you stumble in, hoping against hope that whatever it is that was coming after you would miss this. And as you stumble within, you stop at the entrance, and you see that there are footprints already in this cave. Boot prints, kind of similar to what you're wearing.
Looking back at the cold wind and snow, and looking then again forward into the cave and then down at the footprints, I try to keep alert, but I head in.
As you head in, you veer in, and you begin to see what looks like a fire must have been set up here at one point. You do see various stones along the outside of basically residue that shows that a fire was here. There's like blackened, not wood, but you're not quite sure what it is that was lit. Probably dung or something. You kind of smell it in the air, and you get a sense of safety, actually, because you know that someone was here at one point. Probably might even still be here. And that thought gets you kind of looking around.
Is there anywhere else to explore, or is it just basically just small cave with fire?
It looks like it can go a little deeper. But if you go deeper, you'll be in total black.
I think I'll venture in the darkness then.
As you look towards the dark and start approaching it, you hear, "Who are you?"
The Night's Watch.
And you, as you're now in the darkness, you feel this forceful slap across your face, and it has you literally turn 180, and you fall straight on your stomach, like your forearm basically blocking your face from bouncing off against the cave floor. And as your eyes are now looking towards the entrance, you see that stumbling figure coming in.
It's here! It's come! I'll start trying to flail and just move backwards into the darkness.
And as you begin to move backwards. As you get up, it's almost like this thing has picked up its speed. And just as you're on your feet moving into the darkness, it's already on you. And its eyes are piercing blue. Its face looks emaciated and cold. You see various signs of damage done to this thing. It's like your brothers in the Night Watch. You actually see one of their swords through this creature's chest. And as you're stumbling back, didn't even get the thought of reaching for your blade. Its cold arms are already around your neck, and it pulls you down to the floor again, and it's kind of over top of you. Its legs are at either side of your chest as its body is contorted down, gripping your neck and choking the life out of you, and its eyes so bright as it's getting closer and closer to your face. If it had breath, it'll probably be that of death, but you can't smell anything on this guy. It seems to be like a silent murderer.
In total fear and just utter terror, being unable to get away, the idea of poking out those horrible eyes fills my mind, and both thumbs will reach out and try to stab as hard as I can into them.
Okay, as you reach out desperately to poke out the eyes, your thumb forces into one of them and the other as well, and you poke the eyes out completely. And as the eyes sink into this creature's skull, the light it continues to emanate that energy that still remains, and you begin to feel woozy. You begin to feel desperate, and as it's choking you, you feel your body being lifted towards it, and it bites into your nose, and it rips your nose right off. You see like blood kind of covering your vision as it spits your nose to the floor, to the ground of this cave, and it begins to chomp on the flesh of your face. And as it does that, you're at that point of death, and again you hear the words, "Who are you?"
I just I yell at the top of my lungs, Brandr Snow! Oh, Brandr!
And your body drops, and you see yourself down, dead in the snow, as this creature that has killed you now turns towards the darkness, as if it realizes there's someone else there, someone that you can't see, and it shambles into it. And as it shambles into it, you wake up in your bed, knowing for a fact that you've just died in your dream. And that dream seemed so real, so honest to you. You know that there are certain memories that you have of your time at the wall that have been just suppressed in your mind. Ever since you came back from the wall, it's been another story with you. These dreams and sensations that you've been experiencing. Could this be another piece of the puzzle?
Brandr will just rub his face and make sure his nose is still there.
Yeah, you got your nose.
Slide off to the side of his bed and just sort of rub his eyes, sides of his head. Take a big breath and just start getting ready, just to go out and see the rest, to see what the day holds.
Okay.
Just not looking forward to laying back down at the end of it.
Excellent. And Marcus, as you wake up, you see Alyssa laying there, exhausted. Well, you think that she's probably exhausted. You gave her quite the ride, and her eyes are kind of like wide open, kind of staring towards the ceiling of the room. A smile on her face. The sheets of the bed just covering her waist and lower, so you can see her small but pretty tits, and she doesn't turn to glance at you, but you can tell that she's in wonderment from her first time.
I won't really say anything. I'll move my hand to caress her cheek and just look at her if she pretty much notices me.
Yeah, she'll turn to you as you caress her cheek. She'll kiss the palm of your hand, and as you're in this mood of you begin to hear outside of your room, outside of the hall, a herald. You vaguely hear him, but because it's such a quiet scene, it's just you and her, and you enjoying the sight of her in the morning. You hear this external voice from outside, basically heralding that your father will be back within the hour.
Right.
Lord Roderick is returning from the hunt, a successful hunt within the hour.
Does it look like she heard that as well?
You're not sure. Maybe she's just lost in you. Maybe she's looking at this masculine man, this hunk of meat.
Well, even if she didn't hear that, I'll let out a sigh and I'll smile at her, and then I'll go and kiss her and caress her, and if I get the vibe that she would be into it, I'll make use of my morning wood.
Excellent. So she appreciates your attempts and opens herself up to him. And how long do you spend on her? Let's say.
Well, not that long. Something like 10 minutes will do. It's. I'm just showing my affections, towards that type of thing.
So,
but afterward, I would continue to just hold her and all that sort of stuff, just to show the affection, and but afterwards I would eventually get to sit up on the bed and just tell her that Pierre's father is returning today.
You sound like you don't want your father to return. She touches your shoulder as you're probably sitting on the side of the bed, and she's behind you, rubbing your shoulders.
He is my father, but it's always a hassle.
Does he know of me?
No, I do not think so.
What will you tell him?
That you're our guest. That.
Do you think he'll send a search party for Sigurd?
Sure he will. But well, if he doesn't, I will.
Thank you, Marcus. I just want to know that my brother is safe.
I'll just look at her and give her a smile and caress her cheek again, and give her a little kiss. But then I'll go and stand up, and I'll just kind of stretch my arms and back, and I'm like, guess we both need to get ready.
She nods to you and gets up. Well, she doesn't stretch. She goes towards the wardrobe and does her morning kind of routine. There's like a basin and whatnot. Like there's no access to showers or anything, but you can tell that she's kind of washing her face and under the armpits and all that kind of stuff. You see like. It might be interesting to you, but the women you've been with, it's almost like a slam and done. You kind of leave the room before they even get to this stage of grooming. So as you're watching her kind of bring water to her armpits and kind of wash them with a cloth, it's an interesting sight. It almost makes you feel more attached to her, but since you're up and since you're basically readying yourself,
but if she's like not looking for like extra privacy to do the routines or anything like that, cleaning herself up or anything, I don't feel like I have any great need to leave the room as soon as possible or anything like that. So even though all of this affection towards her and all that is pretty much a plot, pretty much a plan from my end, means to an end. It's hard to deny that she is a lot cuter than the other women I've been accustomed to on the island. So I do. My eyes do rest on her a little bit longer than they would if this was like purely just a scheme type of thing, Mm-hmm. And I think I'll do the Batman style. As soon as I get up from the bed, I'll just as a plank, I'll just fall onto the ground and start doing push-ups.
Nice.
And I'll just do my my workouts basically there. As she's cleaning up, I'm doing my workout routines there. Nothing fancy with no chains or anything like that. Just regular stuff.
So she would be in her clothes right now, and you'd eventually hear a knock on the door, and she would tell you that it's the servant that always comes to her in the morning. She'd mention to you that sometimes Marianne comes with, and they braid her hair, and they dress her nice. But time has passed. Your father should be here at any moment, and it kind of comes to you. You begin to think that, oh, that's right. That mission that I was on yesterday, my sister that had control of the house, she doesn't even know what happened. I got a lot to fill her in on before Daddy comes, because that Dad is gonna want to see you.
Yeah. After I'm kind of done, with my workout stuff, I'll go get my clothes, and I'll before I leave the door, I'll just tell her that we best be casual when Father is about. He doesn't even know you're here, and no one knows of last night, and I'll give her a little smile. So let's see. Let's first feel the temperature of the waters before we let out any word.
She kind of covers her face for a second, and she says, I hope, let us not speak of, and she kind of glances to the bed. I am a lady. likely suggesting that she doesn't want to talk to your father about the fact that you guys are hooking up in such a way.
Yeah. No.
She's completely down with the whole playing it cool vibe. Is what you get.
Yeah, and so she's not gonna be holding my hand or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I'll give her a smile and a nod, and then I'll pretty much listen to the door to hear if there's anybody like right outside it.
Yep. There's you can hear that there's definitely someone waiting, and while there was a knock on the door, it's kind of silent. But you do see like beneath the door, you do see like vague shadows, even from where you're standing, that there are people there.
I'll see what my little scheming mind can come up with. If there's like any small objects there or anything like that where I could like crack the door open a little bit and try and see how much of a genome soldier our staff are. I would throw some small object from the crack of the door and see if they would like move aside so I could sneak out or something.
Oh, you want to sneak out of the room?
Yeah.
There's the window. It's only on the second.
Yeah, sure. That's
on the second floor. You can take the drop.
Yeah, that's way easier. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it would be much more convoluted to try to distract them. Yeah, I'll go to the window and see if anybody's in the side of that window. What side?
You're looking out. It's just on the outskirts. You see probably just like citizens doing their like morning routine.
They wouldn't know which room this was anyways.
No, they've probably seen you jogging and doing exercise, so leaping out of windows is what they might consider just you doing your thing in the morning.
Yeah. Okay, in that case I'll just go and leap out the window.
Perfect.
And when I land on the ground I'll just walk off and then I'm heading straight for the hall of the bear hall where I'm expecting that I would meet the people I would need to meet.
Okay. So, you guys, Alena, you know your brothers are back.
I do?
Yeah, in the morning, the maester would inform you. So you're just gotten dressed. You've heard the herald just a few minutes ago. You're already fully dressed at that point.
All right. As soon as I hear the herald, panic will grip my heart, and I will go and run around to make sure that all my younger siblings are presentable and as properly dressed and stuff as capable.
You see that Edgam isn't there. As you're looking for your brothers, Edgam isn't there. Marcus isn't there. Brandr, would you have arrived early, or like, as soon as you hear the herald, you'd be like, "Oh my god, I gotta get going," or would you try to?
Well, I basically said I was going to head down there, so.
Yeah, there you go. So Brandr's there. The only people that aren't there are Marcus and Edgam.
All right, then I will have pretty much every servant I come across call out to look for Edgam, and have him bring to the hall immediately for presentance to our father.
Mm-hmm.
And I too will be looking for him.
Well, before you go out looking, your servants have been out looking for a minute or two. Marcus would enter the scene at this point.
I'll just come into the hall, nonchalant, like I'm right on time or anything like that.
I probably would have sat next to Nathan. I seem to have more of a connection to him than anybody else.
Yeah, but as I come in, I have my regular stone face on, and I'm power walking in as usual as I do, and as I see everybody, I'll give everybody a nod separately, and go to sit in my chair.
As you sit in your chair, everybody's seated. The only chair that seems to be empty is Edgam's. And Brandr, you're sitting beside Nathan, who for a moment is looking at that empty chair, and knowing that Alena sent out servants to find Edgam, Nathan kind of puts his hands together and sits very almost like a CEO of a company. He's very straight backed, hands together on the table. He's in this position as if like at any moment he could give a speech, but he just sits there quietly, as if waiting.
I'm going to pat him on the back and then get up from the table, and I'm going to go look for him.
Okay.
Our missing brother.
Okay. As you go out and begin to search for him, where would you go look for your brother? Would you look in the hall, or would you look in the village, or?
I'm guessing they probably already went to his room. The servants would probably they would probably go to the easiest spots. Knowing my brother, or maybe I don't know him very well. What do you think? Like, would I have any idea like what possible place he could be? Like does he like to I don't know, kick puppies? Like, should I, like
he doesn't like to kick puppies, but you know that he's not a nosy bastard. He is kind of manipulative with the servants, and there are a few servants that he kind of has his eyes on, kind of thing.
Okay, maybe I'll start there then. Maybe the servant quarters.
Mm-hmm. Going to the servant quarters, as you're there, kind of watching like four girls kind of giggling at each other. They turn towards you and suddenly they have a straight face. One of them approaches you. Lord Brandr? Is there something you require?
What were you giggling about? Where is my brother?
She kind of lowers her eyes and then glances towards you again and says, He went off with one of the girls. She holds her breath for a sec as if she doesn't want to tell you.
I'll push her against one of the walls.
Her eyes widen suddenly.
I'll just lean in. I probably have bad breath. I don't think I did anything with that. Just where?
In the cleaning room, where sheets are washed.
I'll just back away from her and
she gestures.
Start heading that way.
Yeah. As you head into that room, like you see like basins. It's on the first floor. There's like an opening to the outside, which like the door is open, and you kind of, as you enter this room, you see that there's like a second door that's open into the outside, where you can see the waters. And there's like a basin outside that's kind of placed like on the grass. And in this cleaning room, you see various like scrubs and all that to get like dirt off or what have you. And the servant is there, and she has this like wrapped up sheet in her arms. And you see that Edgam is there, kind of gesturing to it. You're not quite sure what they're talking about, but Edgam kind of turns to you and immediately steps forward. What the hell? What the heck are you doing here? Oh, sorry. Hell. What the hell are you doing here, Brandr? Get out of here, Brandr.
Brother. You take breakfast.
He like pushes at your chest. He's a shorter dude than you.
It still doesn't stop me from looking down and sort of taking like a defensive, sort of like a dog does when it's beat a lot. It doesn't have a lot of. I don't want to look in his eyes right now.
You nosy fuck, you nosy fuck. What, do you have to know everything?
Brother, your presence is missed. If Father should return, he will be angry.
You see that he grins when you say your father. And he says, "Oh, I'm looking forward to Daddy being back." And he turns towards the servant and he pulls the sheets from her hand. And as he does so, you can actually make me an awareness check. Your difficulty is 9.
Let's see here. Alright, looks like I got 3. I got a 15.
Okay.
3 5s.
So you got 2 degrees. So you can tell that this sheet has a smear of red down it. And not only that, but as he pulls at the sheets, Lady Alyssa's clothes fall out from basically wrapped up in it. And he's holding the sheet now with this like grin on his face as he's still pushing at your chest. Get out of here.
Those are the lady's clothes. What are you doing with them?
He shows them to you, kind of like opens up the sheets, and you can tell that the blood is kind of smeared, and he grins at you. He says, someone had fun last night.
I look at the woman. Does she have any reaction to this? Is she like scared? Or?
She's scared as fuck.
I'll take that. I'll go from looking down to looking right in his eyes, and I'll have like this angry expression on my face.
He's got a shit-eating grin on his face, and you know for a fact that Edgam is the kind of son of a bitch that will rat on anybody. He'll go straight to Daddy with this information. You know that. He's done it before when like with all his younger siblings.
But he'll rat me out if I do something. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm telling you. I'm saying that you're probably thinking that he's gonna take this sheet to your father.
But Brandr is thinking that he slept with this woman, and that was the first time, and that's what the blood's from.
Mm-hmm.
So he has this sort of confused look, like what would I have? And then it sort of dawns on him that he's probably gonna blame Brandr for this.
Yeah, he's grinning at you and he's looking at you like that's just something that he might be doing.
What are you gonna tell Father? And I'll step forward like a bold step forward, and I'm still looking right in his eyes.
I'm gonna tell Father that you, a bastard, was in my way when I tried to leave. Step away from me. Go to that breakfast with the family. I'll be right there.
I'll look over at the woman, and
she looks down into her hands.
I'll sort of try to memorize what she looks like, just so maybe I can talk to her again later.
Yeah.
And I'll turn around and head back to breakfast.
Okay, so you return to breakfast. While you come back, it's like, just casual discussion. I'm pretty sure that Marcus was relating the news of their previous journey to Alena.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything I would need to tell differently than how it happened or anything like that, So pretty much based on the recap and that sort of stuff, that's all the I'm giving all the info.
Okay. So Alena, you get all the info from that. Your brother has returned. Brandr's back, and your youngest sister Marianne, she keeps glancing towards the door. And Alena, it's when you see that your sister keeps glancing towards the door, it's almost that it reminds you of yourself when you were younger, when your father was about to come back home, and it's not like anticipation. It's almost like, oh my god, is he gonna come now? Oh my god, is he gonna come now? Oh my god, is he gonna come now? It's almost like it's not pleasant at all.
How does our father wish to be greeted? Does he want us to be like sitting at the table, or should we line up as he enters at the entrance so he can expect us or whatever?
That's the weird thing about your father, is if you were to line up to greet him, he'd still find something to complain about, that you've done something wrong. So let's say that one time or a few times you've lined up to greet him, he would tell you, what, are you missing breakfast? Or greet me, sit your ass down, that kind of thing. Or if you're seated at a table, he'd say, what, you didn't line up? Or I'm not good enough? That kind of issue. So so no matter what you decide, he's gonna pick on something.
I'll just be busy with Marianne's hair and make her look pretty and try to calm her anxiety a bit.
Okay. So you're keeping her calm, and there's like a long moment where nothing's happening, and Edgam kind of steps into the room. He sits down, glancing at Brandr as he does, and as he sits, he reaches for the cold food now, kind of pulling his plate towards himself. And before he gets a chance to say anything, you guys would notice that the huntsman, the wildling that was accepted into your house as a guide to your father, as basically like an aide when it comes to hunting, Amsler, he moves into the room, kind of standing at the doorframe for a second, just to survey the scene, almost like head counting to see if all the brothers and all the sisters are there. And he quickly moves towards you, and he says, towards your table, you know that Amsler's like a very friendly fellow. He'd do anything to help you guys out. And as he's standing over the table, he says, your father's back. He's at the blacksmith, sharpening his sword.
Brandr will just look up. He doesn't usually say a lot during these breakfasts, but he nods.
Nathan gets up immediately and does like a very quick tidy of his area before he looks back to the rest of you almost expectantly.
I look at Marcus. I will look at Marcus to see what he wants us to do.
I'll whatever I was eating during this whole time, I'll take the last bite out of it, and like if it was whatever piece of bread, I'll just take the last bite and I'll throw the rest of it back into the bowl I was eating it from, and I'll wipe my mouth and stand up, and I'll just say that I'm gonna go meet him first.
Brother, do you want me to come with you or wait?
You can do as you wish. Either finish your breakfast here with your younger siblings or come with me.
Brandr has a look of panic on his face, but then he stands up and moves in beside Marcus.
Edgam also gets up and moves to stand beside you, shit-eating grin on his face.
Brandr tries as hard as possible not to look at him.
I'll just pretty much look everybody around. I'm especially looking at Alena at what she plans to do.
Alena plans to, seeing as she's the woman, she'll remain seated here and look after the small ones.
As I notice pretty much who's gonna come with me and who's not, I'll just have a stern look on my face, and then I'll turn to walk towards the front door of the hall to get outside.
And as you do that, as you're moving towards with Amsler, moving towards where the blacksmith is, basically outside, and to a nearby kind of area. It's open to the outside. Your house blacksmith, usually busy at work repairing or crafting. You hear, as on your way there, you hear this loud like and as you get in closer, you see your father kind of sitting on a stool with his sword in both hands, like hilt between his index finger and his thumb, holding it up, and the blade between his index finger and a thumb on the other hand, and he's holding it to this like grinding stone as it's spinning and making this like kind of like this cutting sound, even though he's just sharpening his blade. And in the background, before you even get into the vicinity of this blacksmith, this is what you just see and hear. In the background, you see a bear. There's like a muzzle on its face and like chains as it's being like pulled towards where the bear pit is. It's a massive thing. This is quite the sizable catch. Probably among, if not the largest bear, though there would be a close second in your pit. This is quite the rewarding experience, which your father has spent a great deal of time, nearly a month, to find. And as he's as he's sharpening his blade, that this great large sword, you can tell, or you can see now that you've come closer, that Sim, his advisor, who had gone hunting with him, is basically operating that grindstone. He's like stepping on almost like a pedal, rapidly with his foot as the stone is rotating. And your father has his back to you as you're approaching, so he can't quite see you. So Edgar is going at this. You can, like, his back is he just has like a vest on, so you can see his arms, and you can see like your father's old. He doesn't have a lot of bulk on him, but he looks very wiry, and his muscles are very well defined as he's doing this. And you can tell that it's probably just the fact that he's holding his greatsword like this with both hands up against this grindstone, this sharpening stone that's descending. It's just adding more pressure onto that sword. But yeah, your father is still holding it in such a way that shows just how strong he is.
As we go to approach him, I'll just put out my hand behind me to just show Brandr and Edgam to make a little bit of distance so I can go to father first alone, and without saying anything, I'll just do a hand gesture there.
So you step up in front of him so he can see you?
Well, yeah, if they oblige to my...
Oh, yeah, they obliged. Edgam, like, as you step forward, as you do that hand gesture, Edgam kind of glances at your father and glances at you, gives you this grin. And you've seen him grin before. You know that something is up with this kid. But he gives you this, like, after grinning at you, he gives you this, like, smirking nod. And gestures towards your father, like, after you, kind of thing.
Yeah. I'll walk basically into father's line of sight from behind him, in front of the whetstone, the grindstone, and I'll just walk there with my heavy frame and my stone face, and I'll turn towards him and I'll say, Father.
The sound of the stone kind of as you say father, the sound of the stone almost drowns it out. It's just so loud. And your father doesn't look at you. He's still looking at his blade as he's sharpening it.
Conquered quite a beast.
You're left in this moment of awkwardness, as if you're not sure. Should I speak louder? Should I touch father's shoulder? Should I? But then you see that he lowers his sword and he kind of presses the tip of it into the ground, and he rises up. And as he rises, he's about 6'4". He's a tall guy, and he's looking at you at eye level, probably. How tall is your character?
I don't have it written down here. It's written down on the character sheet that I have on my computer, but I would have to put Skype down in order to.
Okay, don't worry about it. Is your guy tall or?
Well, just think Brock Lesnar.
Okay, yeah. So he's looking at you at eye level, and he just gives you this faint nod.
Lose any men?
There was an injury. Nothing that can't be healed.
Anyone I know?
You know all of them. He glances towards the grindstone, and he says, Sir Pauler, but you'll be fine. What has happened to the house? First thing I heard is that prisoners were killed.
Yes, under my orders.
Yeah, his pale blue eyes kind of stare at yours as if he could as if he could light you on fire just by staring at you. As you can tell that he's rolling his tongue around on the inside of his mouth, kind of looking you down. What's your posture at this time?
I'm heavy in my frame with my stone face, but I'm not like holding hands on my hips or crossing my arms, but that's sort of a chest out type of thing, that sort of casual, intimidative, manly man posture.
How was the Deepwood Mott? How was your 3-week stay?
Nothing worth mentioning, though the trip back was.
What happened on your way back?
We ran into some interesting company in Winus. We ran into Wina in her cabin, this old wench who uses her establishment to trade off hostages with the people who pay their bounties. We found a peculiar hostage there whose bounty was being waited to be paid, and I convinced the people to leave the hostage with me, and she is now my guest here, and she so happens to be Alyssa Woodtower of the Woodtower family.
He squints an eye and he walks to the side, kind of like looking you up and down. He still has the sword. He kind of swings it over his shoulder with one hand, kind of like this, like, but it doesn't make that sound. It's just kind of like his body knows that this is a heavy blade. And Sim stops hitting the pedal, and the wheel gradually starts to slow, as Sim is kind of staring at the two of you from behind his hood. Oily hair. His face is a little wet, probably from sweat. As he's staring at the two of you, your father says, Wood Tower.
Yes.
We have the girl.
Yes, and if her brother is indeed dead, she is the heir to their household.
You see that he grins. I'm glad I put my boys in charge. What news has Almer brought?
You see, Father, the situation is that Almer went on a pillaging streak, and I expect that was the orders he was working under. But since the situation had changed after finding Alyssa Woodtower into our own midst and keeping her as our honored guest and filling her head with the misinformation that there was actually a rebellion and some Ironborn giving us trouble in the Wood Tower area, and that is why the Ironclaws were sent there to not to pillage, but of course to maintain order from these troublemakers. There is a good chance that through her, we could, through legal means and through the means that others on this island wouldn't bet an eye on, take control of their lands without having to take it by force.
He squints at you and he says, You've been speaking to Nathan, haven't you? Did he fill you in on the grand plan? You speak like you're well aware of it.
It's easy to figure it out.
Yes. Your father lifts his chin a bit.
Since we got word that diplomats from House Rain had already been demanding our audience because the word of our pillaging had come to their doorstep, I had to take care of that as well.
You've done a good thing, bringing the Wood Tower girl to us. And you're right. There needs to be legal means. How is she? Is she a looker? The last time I saw her, she was 10.
The thing is, she's the type I would want for myself.
Your father gives you a look. It's almost like an analytical look, like through one squinted eye. He's eyeing you.
You've been out conquering this bear for yourself. I've been doing quite the same with a different beast while you were away.
You've had her fall for you, have you?
I'll give him a grin with the type of a grin where I'm not like, yeah, I think so type of thing, but this kind of a like, yeah, she's fallen for the bait type of grin, like this evil grin.
And your father gives you this like slow nod as he says, infatuation, yes. How far did that go? Tell me you didn't take it from her. And he kind of like glances down towards where your junk is.
There's a personal answer and a official answer to that question.
At that point, you see that your father, while he had one wide eye and one squinted eye, they both squint, and you can see like the crow feet, like the markings along the sides of his eyes as he's squinting, and you can see his like lower lip slowly descend, or you can see like the row of his teeth, and you can definitely tell that he's grinding them together. as he's listening to this.
I'll use my finger as a gesture. I'll basically just to use my physical presence that I'm not in this kind of passive state. I'm just using my posture in the way that I'm kind of taking the lead in this kind of thing that I'm talking about. Just gesturing with my finger, like pointing at Father while I'm talking. I'm saying that I've already given orders to Ulmer to start rebuilding the farms and the territories that the wood towers uphold, and I've already sent Ironclaws. Oh shit! That was something I was supposed to do in the evening as the last thing, to send the tortured guy out.
Okay. Oh, let's say you did it.
Ah, cool. I've already sent my best Ironclaw after the male heir's best friend, who was the only one I left living from the tortured prisoners. Now he will lead the Ironclaw into whatever hiding place the male heir would have if he's still alive, to remove the rest of the doubt. If the male heir is in fact dead, he will soon. If the male heir in fact is not dead yet, he will soon be. And once that happens, or when we get confirmation that he's been dead all this time, through her, we will gain dominance over that region. And after that, it's one step closer to House Rain and House Mormont to take control of the entire island once and for all. And while I'm talking this, I'm posturing this kind of like forward-leaning, finger pointing type of smacking on my palm, my fist. That's this kind of this I'm in charge of this operation type of thing.
Your father is still rolling his tongue in his mouth, as when he was listening to you to what you said, his eyes looked a little distant, as if there's one thing that he's fixated on. And once you exposit what you've done, his eyes very quickly look up at yours, and again you get the sense that you're being judged from up above.
Brandr, I want to just jump in here. Ever since Father started grinding his teeth, Brandr has sort of had this mantra in his head of, oh my, Father's gonna do something rash. Don't get his attention. Don't get his attention. But then I see that something bad's gonna happen, most likely to Marcus. That's the way that Brandr's looking at this. That Marcus said something that's gonna bring on Father's wrath. So,
yeah, well, basically, I tried to play it safe. If she's not a virgin, she's not as desirable, most likely, to fathers.
So what Brandr's going to...
There's a higher chance I might have her.
Brandr's going to do something rash himself. While he sees it, he's going to interrupt, which is not good. And he's going to say, Father, we're glad you returned, and I'm going to give him a hug.
Okay, as you move in to give your father a hug, he places his hand to your chest and shoves you back, and he's glancing at you as you come closer, like it's as if you have to enter his personal space for him to even notice you, and he looks to you, shoves you back, and looks towards Marcus, and says, "Did you take her? Is that what you're saying?"
I thought I said it already.
His head tilts, and then you hear Edgam kind of step into your father's personal space, and then Edgam, a little too late, he says, she's a whore, Father. I've looked at the sheets. She was taken last night. And your father...
Edgam was listening to what I was saying.
Yeah, he's got, as soon as Edgam comes in, he was on the periphery.
I wasn't whispering, but I
Yeah, as
man,
soon as the
I don't think I would have worded it exactly like that if
as soon as
he
the
was-
grindstone ended, he would have heard. But let's say he
Uh-huh.
did. Let's say he didn't.
I just
All right.
liar at what's his face, Edgum.
Yeah, so Edgem would have said that your guest is a whore. Wood Tower is a whore. I've seen the sheets. And then you shout, liar. Your father stares between the two of you. What do you mean? What else am I supposed to mean, Father? I have the sheets. There's blood stains all over it.
That's a servant's blood, liar! I'll push him.
As they're getting into the scuffle, I'll try and lock eyes with Father, and without saying words, I'll widen my eyes and I'll point my head a little bit forward. This kind of like this, like this kind of like didn't you get what I was saying before? like type of thing. Like
your father, through grinding teeth and this sinister face, as your other two brothers are basically in a pushing match. He stares you down, and he says, "Well, look at you. I go hunting, and you play leader. You tell my boys what to do. You take the girl and you bed her. Where's the consideration for your father?"
it's all in the consideration of our house.
I am the house, Marcus. You should be well aware of that. It looks like those scars on your face haven't shown you that you're not the end-all and be-all. Perhaps you need another reminder that there is someone above you who deserves the spoils. This girl, now that you have this wood tower, she factors into the plan. But it's preferable if her womanhead was still there. What am I going to take now? A whore? Someone that's been bedded already? He looks over at Sim and he says, "Start the wheel," and Sim starts stepping on it and goes.
I at that point I'll walk slowly right next to him, so that my arm and his shoulders are almost like touching, so that I can say in a lower tone of voice, I'll say that, like I said before, you went to conquer that beast. I've conquered my own, and I do not give up my conquests to anyone.
There's a greater beast standing right before you, and if you value yourself, you'll submit to him. And he takes a half step forward, and his chest is right up against you.
You know what I've done to beasts like the one you dragged home this time. You want to see me do it again?
You see that Sim. It's just in your peripheral vision. His eyes widen, and it's like he's got a smile on his face that's forming, and his feet go faster and faster on the wheel, and it's like literally all you hear is as this wheel is spinning around. And Brandr, you're much stronger than your brother, and you pushed him back, but this standoff between Marcus and your father has almost completely ended this shoving, as your brother suddenly, right before you give him another shove, your brother's glancing at where your father is, and then kind of looks at you and looks back at Dad with wide eyes.
Yeah, I think Brandr is probably just watching these two thinking, this isn't going to end well, but not really sure what to do. Yeah, I probably stopped pushing Edgum and kind of figured that the point is lost. It doesn't matter anymore.
So, Marcus, as you're holding your ground, your father lowers that sword that he had on his shoulder, and he just drops it because you're not armed either, and you can tell that his hand is going towards your neck, and he's doing it deliberately, slowly.
Oh, his hands are going to my neck?
Yeah, his right hand is going towards your neck, but it's deliberately, slowly.
But yeah, he's standing up still, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll headbutt the fuck out of him.
You'll headbutt you now, okay.
Oh, man.
Alright, let me get some...
I'll try my best to knock him on his butt. If that's way too big of a deal to make, because that's like a, that would be real like embarrassing or something. I think I would. I think I'll use not burn, but I'll use a destiny point.
Okay. Let's roll. What's the rule for? I think it's just strength. Keep one die.
Strength, keep one die.
Actually, wait a minute. No. That doesn't make sense. I think it's just. What's the damage? Just punching someone. I gotta find that.
Like, do you mean like I throw fighting?
Yeah, you throw fighting, but what's the damage?
I think it's just the strength rating or athletics rating, something like that.
Yeah, well, my athletics is 3, but my strength specialty is 3. I have a
specialty under
thick neck.
Just for reference, if I see here a fist, does athletics -2 damage.
There we go. Okay, that's what it is.
Athletics -3.
There you go. But with a minimum of 1 of them.
Okay, so just tell me what to roll.
So just roll to hit. Fighting.
Okay. Does my strength at all play into my fighting roll?
Sure.
And what did using a destiny point actually do to the roll?
You get +3.
+3. Okay. So let's see. My fighting is 5. And my strength is 3. So I'm adding, but not keeping 3 dice. And my destiny point usage gives me 3 points more.
Yeah, it's like +3 to the total, I believe, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. 3 lowest away. Okay. And there's 5, 9, 13, 16, 20, plus that 3, that's 23.
Okay, so you get to... That's a multiple of... Okay, it's a multiple of 3. So, your athletics -3 times 3. That's how much damage you can do.
Athletics -3 times 3. Does my strength play a role in that?
I don't think so, because your fists don't have the powerful quality to them.
Oh, okay. Well, my athletics is 3, so
So 1 times 3 is 3 damage, which is a pretty big punch. That's like a regular sword swing with no quality, with no what do you call it? So yeah, you headbutt him. He takes. You aim to knock him on his ass, but he just takes 3 steps back as you headbutt him, and he kind of he passively, that hand that was reaching for your neck touches his forehead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Before he gets to say or do anything, I'll just immediately keep my brow lowered so that I'm in this kind of my chin is on my chest type of position, and I immediately clip my cloak off my shoulders to fall behind me to the ground, and I'll squeeze my hands into fists so that you can hear the sound from my leather gloves, and I'll say that Ebert was no Ironclaw.
I think this is when Brandr is going to try to tackle Marcus. Just
Okay.
to keep him away from father. Like this is going from bad to worse.
All right. So you guys want to roll this, or you allow
No,
yourself to tackle?
I mean, that's
no,
not,
I do weigh like I don't know, like 270 or something. You know, it's.
I'll go for the
I'm
legs.
heavy
How about
load
that?
to move or tackle.
You go for the legs.
Yeah, I'm trying to tackle him. Just trying to like keep him from doing anything. Like, he's already dug himself a hole here. I don't want him to, fall into it and then get buried. So, I'm trying to, like, even though Marcus is probably pissed as all hell, I'm trying to tackle him so he doesn't do anything else to father.
Yeah, I get what Tim is doing, but Marcus doesn't. But because
Oh yeah,
of that,
that's totally. There's gonna be some fallout. I know.
I won't do a competitive role. You know, I'll just let it come through. You know, it doesn't have to come to competition, but still.
So you get tackled. Brandr, your goal was to bring him to the ground, or just to kind of prevent him from moving? Or
Yeah, bring him to the ground and try to make him like not close to father, like as far away from father tackled as possible. You know, I'm trying to get space, and try to put my body between father and Marcus. That's the to stop this.
And as you bring him down, your father, you can hear this kind of sounds from your father as he shakes off the headbutt, and as he's making his way towards the two of you. Now that Marcus is tied down by the feet, the ground, he says in this angered, loud tone, he says, "Running the house, but brought down by a bastard." And
at that point, I'll use all of my fucking strength to toss Brandr off of my body.
Well, then it'll come down to a roll because Brandr is not gonna give up.
Make a contested athletics strength check, both of you, and the highest number wins.
All right, you said athletics with the strength bonus.
Yeah.
What do I got?
Okay, I got 13.
All right, I have athletics 3 and 2 bonus. So 2 dice.
Nice.
All right, come on, dice, don't fail me now. All right, I got a 1 and a 3. I'll drop, and a 6, 5, and a 4. What is that? 15.
Whoa!
Yeah. 6, 5, 4. So you're holding on. Nice.
What did you roll, Eunice? I didn't hear you.
13.
Oh wow.
I got 13. Yeah.
I yell, "Stay down!"
And Marcus, now you feel your father's hands in your hair as you have a short haircut, but his hands they go through your hair and they clinch onto it, and he's pulling you, like he's pulling at your head, and you know exactly where he's taking it. He's taking it to the grinding wheel, and Brandr, your body shifts a little as your father's literally yanking at Marcus. As he says,
does he say anything to me? Yes.
Oh, he doesn't say anything to you. He calls you a bastard, and you took down Marcus, but you definitely get the sense that Marcus is gonna get a haircut or at least something on this wheel. And Sim, he actually lets out this strange giggle as the wheel keeps on turning, and your father, as he's getting closer, he says, "Keep holding him, bastard. Keep holding him."
Right, if he told me to keep holding him, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to close my eyes and sort of go to some sort of other happy place. Just try to think of something else. Try to just think about the boat ride on the way to the island, how it was peaceful and there was no violence. Yeah. I'm just sort of go into my own world.
Awesome. So here's what I'll throw at you as you go into your own world. You're in front of a fireplace. It's cold as fuck outside. There's a corpse beside you, It looks familiar. The same from your dream. It's you. Your body's right there by the fire, chewed up, eaten up, and your hands are hovering over this flame, and you feel a rewarding sense, and your head kind of turns to the other side, and you see that walking corpse that assaulted you, perhaps just moments ago, and it too is dead. And you're not quite sure why, but it kind of centers you, it focuses you, so you can completely leave out or exclude the grinding sounds of the wheel and the sound that your brother makes. Marcus, you have full mobility of your hands. Your father's legs would be kind of close to your head as you.
Grindstone thing.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
No problem. So that's what.
Yeah. No. The problem wasn't that I didn't know what the grindstone was like, but that how is he planning to grind my face on it if Brandr's holding me down on the ground?
So Brandr's holding your legs, and he's basically, your father has your hair in his hand, so he's just lifting your.
Oh, he's gonna lift my upper body up into like a sitting position or something.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Just hold your head to it as it spins.
Well, he's a damn fool for doing that, because as soon as my upper body is pretty much open, I'll just sit up on my own abdominal strength, and I'll just grab his shirt from the front, and I'll just yank him down to the ground, and I'll wrestle him on the ground.
Okay, so as I said, you have full arm functionality. Why don't you make me a contested strength roll against Daddy?
Yep.
If I see this happening, I say, Marcus, don't do it!
I rolled pretty damn good, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, let's see what happens. Athletics and strength. By the yeah, I was just thinking that it's not fighting yet.
Yeah.
Fuck, 11.
I beat the shit out of your roll, man. How many dice are you keeping?
I have athletics 3, so I'm keeping 3, but I have strength 3, so I'm rolling 6 dice and keeping 3.
Well, you rolled one more die than Dad did, but he beat the shit out of your roll, 665. So he's as you tried to pull your father down, you fail at it. You're grabbing at his shirt. You like rip some of the buttons of his vest. And he says, "You still got a lot to learn, boy. You think you can take on your old man?" And he lifts your head up. Like, he doesn't sit you up at all, but he just kind of lifts your head with the strength of his arm towards the stone. And Brandr, you're still in your vision of the fire, so you totally don't feel, hear, or sense what's happening. But
I'm gonna say that I won't remember anything this happens. Like, I'm just locked away, you know.
The spin of the grindstone, the very edge of it becomes red as the cheek of Marcus gets up against it. And it's not like your skin is made of stone. There is no like grinding kind of the sound of the wheel doesn't really change much unless your father gets down to the bone, which he hasn't. He's just
I'll still attempt to do my damnness not to let out a sound.
Okay, make a will check. A very rarely used attribute in any game, willpower.
10.
Okay, that's good enough. You hold your sound as your father holds you to this stone, and as your cheek is getting worn, it's like you can hear that your brother Edgam. It's rare for him to do this, but he's like so shocked, and you hear Edgam say, "You're gonna kill him," but your father, you just like, aside from the stone, which is the loudest sound you can hear, as your eyes kind of like look up, like strain to look up at your father's face, you just see like anger in it, and it reminds you of the anger he had when your older brother was taken care of, and it might make you think that perhaps Daddy aims to kill me. You're not quite sure, but you're getting damage. I'm not gonna. Well, how much?
Just let me know if I will have a opportunity to do anything. But
I'm gonna throw some damage at you. What's your health right now? What's your maximum damage potential? How much damage can you take?
see, I have everything written down on a paper.
You know what? I'm gonna give you an injury. You're gonna take an injury because there's no way you can just come out of this without having damage done. So you're gonna take an injury, and your father's still holding you. So you can roll to get out of it again.
It looks like his health is 9.
Okay. So so just take an injury for now, and you can roll again to counter your father. Just roll one less die. Injury.
One less die.
Yeah, but you can still keep the same amount.
Oh, okay.
Your father sadly only got a 10.
I got 14.
Okay, you succeed. What do you want to do with that? You want to pull him down? You want to get out of his grip?
I want to do what Arnold did in Commando to the mall cops, and I just want to yank my body up and stretch my arms and make him fall off of me, like, yeah. And I just want him to his grip to loosen off of me.
Okay, his grip loosens.
And at that point, I want to grab the great sword he was grinding.
Okay, it's right at your feet, so you reach down and you grab it.
I'll grab it and I'll aim to kill.
Oh,
Holy shit.
all right. So you're taking care of your father.
Oh wow, this
Yeah.
might change things.
So your father.
He aimed to kill me. I'll kill him. I'll kill the fuck out of him.
Your father's eyes widen.
And wait. I swing it in a vertical swing like a baseball bat, so that if anybody plans to tackle me, they'll get sliced in half.
Well, you are still tackled. So I don't know how.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Well, let's okay.
Like,
so
yeah,
you
like,
pull
what do you
father
wanna-
down as you're trying to get up. You're still gonna have to beat Brandr in a contested strength roll because you still technically have to break his grip.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think like. Okay.
Unless
so what is
Brandr would release.
What is Brandr like? That's what I mean. Like I kind of locked myself into my own world. Like, do I hear anything from the outside world? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Make me a awareness roll. Make me an awareness roll.
Awareness. Okay. Where's that? All right, that's 3 again. Let's see here. I got 10.
Okay, that's successful enough. So yeah, you can definitely pull back into the real world. You're like an in-between stage.
And
So do you want to let go of your brother, or you want to hold on?
so I see Marcus reaching for the sword.
Yeah. So he's along the ground, like your father.
No, wait. See, I'm most likely trying to get my grip off of Brandr's hands at the same time I'm getting myself loose from father's hands. So I'm not like grabbing the sword yet. I would grab it after I'm completely released, so.
Do you say anything, Marcus? Like, I'm trying to figure out what the heck to do here, Like, what?
No, I'm just grunting. I'm just. And I'm letting out the Arnold as I'm trying to get myself.
See, I think if you were reaching for the sword, I'd know what to do. Let's see here.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's in my favor or not.
Oh, man, I love my father, but I hate my father. I'm just trying to think what the hell.
But realistically, I would grab for the sword after I got myself.
Okay, yeah, I don't see that, so I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to say, stop it! And I'm just going to try to squeeze as hard as I can. So,
yeah, well, is it contestant rolls again?
Yeah, it's at strength and athletics and strength, I guess, right?
Yep, athletics.
All right, so I roll 5 and drop 2. That wasn't a very good roll. I drop a 3 and a 1, or a 3 and a 2, I guess, actually. Whoops. 7, 8, 9, 10? Yeah, 10.
14.
Okay, so you break free.
Yeah, I got 14. Okay. So.
Yeah, I just got a 10, so you break free.
You're free. So you wanna
And now I'm going for the father's great sword to swing it vertically, to basically slice his stomach open or cut his head off or slice his chest open or cut one of his arms from the shoulder off. Whatever a vertical slice would do to him.
Okay. Make me a swing. Hit your father. Your father's going to. Well, you're probably not going to dodge it, but make a swing check.
Okay.
That'll be your
fighting and long blades.
Man, this turned from bad to worse really quick.
Yeah.
I'm either going to be covered by Father's guts or Marcus's guts here. We'll see what happens.
That's 16.
Okay, 16 is... so multiply your damage by 2, because you hit him.
My damage by 2.
Yep.
My damage is, damage is athletics 3 plus 3 from strength. Does the great sword give any?
It's got the same qualities as your great sword. It's got powerful and.
So I double my. So it's double the damage I would normally.
Yeah.
So in that case, it's 12 damage.
Only 5.
Yeah, and it's a powerful, unwieldy, vicious weapon.
Okay. Your dad's gonna take a wound to negate the damage. He's suffering from a -1 die to keep and roll. And as you swing at him vertically, he, in an attempt to step out of the way, he raises one of his arms. And you do this vicious cut to it, down to the bone. You're pretty sure it's broken. And your father, weaponless, since you have his blade, drops to it wouldn't drop to a knee. He's too much of a badass for that. He lets his arm bleed out as it'll be impossible for any man to bear such a vicious cut. He's staring at you with wide eyes. As he says, through pain, he says, "What are you now, a kinslayer?" And he extends his arm out towards you.
I'll with blood splurs on my face. I'll scream at him. "Takes one to know one, father!" and I'll boot him straight into his face, kicking his teeth in and breaking his nose, trying to kick him on his back.
All right, make me that's a kick. Make me a fighting check again, and we'll see how many multiples you get from the kick. I believe a kick is not -3. That's probably a -2. This kick seems more powerful than a punch.
Does my strength come into this?
Yeah.
Why
not?
Zig, I see all this going down. I guess this is like kind of like the next round, right? Sort of.
Yeah.
What's Sim doing? What's Edgum doing?
Sim is he stopped the wheel and he's backed himself up against the corner of the room, like he's not getting involved in a fight. He seems to be like quite shocked. And Edgum is right beside you. He's almost like, a spectator watching a crime and not knowing whether they should step in or not, and they end up just watching the crime. That's kind of what Edgam's doing.
All right, so Sim doesn't look like a threat. How many exits are there out of this room that we're in?
You're basically in the open. Like this is the blacksmith, so it's kind of open to the exterior.
Oh wow! So okay, do we have any other spectators watching this? Maybe that's a.
Let's see. I'm gonna roll a die, and that's how many spectators there will be. 2. There's 2 citizens watching from afar, hands over their lips.
All right, I think I'm going to let these 2 duke it out. I'm going to go collect those 2 citizens.
Okay.
You 2 here now, and I'll just go out there and I don't think I have any weapons on me since it's like breakfast time.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna try to use my status, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a bastard, but I have some status.
What's your status? Like 4, I think. Is it 4? Your status rank?
Yeah, I think that's what it was for bastard. I thought that was kind of high, but
Yeah.
that's what the book said.
So
So
yeah, go ahead and roll me your status.
Okay. It's just a straight roll 4 dice. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just 10. I rolled a couple 2s and a 1. 5.
Okay. 10. Okay. So their attention is on you. They look like shocked, like as if they were like caught.
Yeah, I'm sort of like marching out towards them. Like I want this to not spread. That's the current thing that's going on in my head.
Okay. They're staring at you. They approach you when you said citizens. Their attention is off the scene, but you can tell that they've seen a lot.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab them by the scuff of their neck and just march them into some secure location. I don't know.
Okay, so you'd like to take them around the corner kind of thing.
Yeah, just so they're not currently watching anything else that happens, and yeah.
Okay. One of them would ask, Lord, they would say, Lord Edgar. Lord Edgar, is he? And as you kind of like pull him away, we'll shift back to Marcus. So, your father doesn't have a blade. He's reaching his arm out to you. You can do another swing. You can do whatever you want.
No, I like I said, I boot him to the face.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, and I already rolled when I first mentioned that. I got a 22.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, you boot him to the face. He falls down. His teeth.
Yeah. Like I mentioned that I want to like break his teeth and break his nose, but I do not wish to kill him.
Okay.
Like he scarred me, I'll scar the fuck out of him.
Okay. His teeth are no longer like a good portion of his teeth are loose or shatter, not shatter, but scattered along the ground. His nose is clearly displaced, broken as he falls back, gripping his face with his one good hand, and he doesn't have the chance to look up at you. But Sim, who you don't remember last time you had any kind of word with the guy. He seems to only speak with your father. Sim says, What are you doing?
Simple scuffle between father and son like it was before I rose up from the fucking ground. And I'll throw the sword by its handle like into the lap of father who's on the ground, like into his hands, out of my hands. And I'll say to him, to Sim, that That's just how discipline is done on Bear Island. And I'll spit blood that's most likely gone to my mouth from my open wound on my cheek, and I'll spit it at his feet, and then I'll go to walk out from the blacksmiths.
Okay.
I think Brandr is taking those two guys and he's gonna throw them in the bear pit because
Good choice.
He has he thinks his brother's gonna kill father. That's what he thinks. So he's gonna try to just. Is the bear in the bear pit?
Yeah. Let's say the bear is in there. They're just getting rid of his muzzle, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna try to I don't know if you want me to roll anything. I'm just gonna try to march him off to the edge and just try to chuck the ass in there. What's that?
Okay, so you take him to the edge where the seats would be, and there's a little bit of a drop.
I'm probably even gonna say, we've got some seats for you right here, like close to the edge. Best seats in the house. Gonna just throw them right in there.
So as you throw them in, one of them kind of struggles. You kind of pull him over the edge. He's gripping onto your arms. He's wide-eyed, and you release, and he falls down. And it's this interesting spectacle with this bear who just got caught, kind of stares at them, strangely for a moment. He turns his back to them and glances about. This bear probably has been surviving in the wild for its entire existence and is not used to opportunities such as this for him.
Are there any chairs or anything? Something I could rip off or rip up? Something to throw at the bear to kind of piss him off?
Sure. Yeah, you got all sorts of stuff you could throw at him.
I'm going to do that then. I'm going to rip out a chair or whatever, and I'm going to hurl it at the bear's head.
Yeah, you throw it in the direction of the bear. It kind of, nudges off him. He turns. His mouth kind of opens in this sound, and that scares the two of them who are basically pressing themselves against the wooden sides. And this bear kind of lunges and their heads in their direction. And what you notice. After some prodding from you.
Yeah, if I have to throw any more stuff at it, I'll rip out another chair and hurl it at the beast.
These people get shredded by this bear. You perhaps in self-defense or perhaps asserting its territory, but you clearly notice that it's grisly. See what I did there? And. It's quite the sight to behold. But
quite the sight to bear.
But they are dead.
Quite a Kodak moment.
Do any of the pit guys see that?
If you want to wait till they're gone, they don't see it. If you want to do it while they're there, they see it.
I mean, the
pit guys aren't there. They're burying bodies in the woods.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but the guys that brought the bear into the pit from.
Yeah, I don't care if anybody sees me or not. As soon as they're done, I just walk.
Yeah, 2 more citizens should see this.
I basically just walk back to the blacksmith as soon as it seems like the bear's going to kill him.
Okay. So it's as you're back to the blacksmith, Marcus isn't there. Your father, you notice. Marcus, I think you're. Where are you headed? Before I say you're not there, where are you headed?
I'm headed to. I'm headed into the bear hall. I'm headed towards the window from which I escaped out of this morning.
Okay, so you're headed in that direction. So when Brandr, when you came in, you did not see. You don't see Marcus. You do see your father, and your father is up, and he's clutching his sword, and you see this from his nose down, it's all red and like a V shape of red. His mouth is he looks injured. His arm is cut. and Sim is like right beside him, trying to trying to mend his arm. He cries out, which is again weird for you because you barely ever hear Sim talk. Get the maester! Get
Alright.
the maester!
So Sim's by father.
Yeah.
Edgum is still standing there, sort of.
Yeah, he's standing there like stupefied, shocked.
And Marcus is not there, which very much surprises Brandr, and the fact that father's still alive very much surprises Brandr. Brandr's just gonna sort of move up, sort of like a quick walk. Where is the sword?
It's in his hand, in his one good hand, but it's kind of like slack.
All right. Brandr has all sorts of images coursing through his head. For that brief moment, he thought father was dead, and there was this deeply found joy within his heart. He felt at peace. He felt like there was no more violence that was going to come from father. And he seemed to love father even more then, because he couldn't hurt him anymore. So I think Brandr just walks over there, tries to take the sword out of his father's hands, and tries to kill him.
Okay.
I'm gonna finish the job that Marcus didn't do.
Yeah, you're the perfect cover guy. You'll kill the witnesses, and you're even gonna be the kinslayer.
You disarm your father easily.
Poor Zig.
At first, Sim thinks that you're just relieving the weight that your father's holding, and he doesn't stop you. But as soon as you adjust your position to a stabbing motion, you see something in your father that you've never seen before. Like his eyes meet yours, and your father is not. Of course, he's not the nicest person in the world. He's actually quite bitter. He's never treated you right. You remember quite the lashing that you've taken as a child, and even when you returned from the wall, when you had that night of that loud night of screams, and he forced you to sleep outside. Never in your life have you seen this in your father's eyes. You see fear in his eyes as you're basically holding the sword to kill him in one swift move.
Wow.
And Sim.
That might actually change things, but keep going. I'm holding the sword. So.
And Sim, who's right beside your father, he moves like forward as if he's gonna impose himself between the two, but he really doesn't. You can tell that he values his life, but he's not too pleased with what it is you're doing. His arm goes forward and then quickly comes back as if he doesn't want to get caught in a swing. He too looks terrified at what it is you're doing. But yeah, go ahead now.
Wow. So when you describe the fear in father's eyes, like I think that really strikes home for for Brandr. Almost like he's looking at himself, like he's switched roles, I guess, and maybe he's disgusted by that. He's weighing things. There's like scales being piled in his head. He's holding the sword in front of him.
Describe your posture. How you're holding the sword.
It was very threatening at first, and now I'm not as threatening. I guess I'm sort of in between, like not really just holding it, but not really trying. Like I'm not swinging. I'm just it's bothering me, and I'm looking in his eyes, and
as you're looking at his eyes, he glances down at the sword, and his one good hand reaches for the hilt of it.
Father, why? Why did you do those things? And the sword's probably shaking a little bit in my hand, but I'm not letting him take it. It's just shaking.
You get the sense like his hand goes over yours, and he tries to reach for the hilt part and pull it back, but you've got more strength than him, at least in his current state. And you hear him say, "Bastard, give me the sword, you bastard. You're good for nothing."
Why? Why'd you do it?
His eyes widen.
And I take a more threatening pose now. If you can hear me, whenever I yell, it doesn't work out too well.
No, yeah. Sim steps back from him and he almost trips over the grind wheel. And Edgar Roderick, your father, is now standing on his own. His feet spread a little bit so he can take a more imposing position. And even though he's bleeding, and even though the color is escaping his face, he stares, and as you shout out why, he says, "'Cause you're not strong enough." And he reaches again, tries to pull the blade from you. Guys, give me a moment. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. Sure.
Okay. Sorry, Rahir, you're kind of just hanging out.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'm having a great time listening to you guys.
Wow. That did not start. I did not expect these kind of things to happen. I don't know.
No, me neither.
You still there, Eunice?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I totally thought that he was going to have Marcus kill him.
Yeah, me too. It's like, oh man.
So I'm not sure. I don't want to screw things up. I don't know. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to balance out what Brandr would do versus what I think is fun.
Zig is a very competent storyteller. I think he'll have a backup plan if you kill him. It's gonna take the house in a completely different direction, of course. It's gonna be interesting.
I have an idea. I think I'll wait till Zig comes back, and yeah, I think I'll have an idea here.
Nice.
Okay, Tim. Last time it took you 2 sessions to kill an important NPC. Now it's 4.
We'll see.
After a couple of more campaigns, maybe they'll die at the end.
Yeah.
Well, I think I want as a player for Father to abuse us more. So.
Yeah. I definitely agree. From an outside perspective, it's like, yeah, I want to have all cool stuff having to do with this NPC. But at the same time, the character sure wouldn't.
Well, that's what I don't know, because Brandr has this sick need for Father's love, even though he's never going to give it to him, most likely. I mean, the guy's at the point of a sword, and he won't even sugarcoat it then.
Yeah, I my attack was completely rage motivated, and kind of once I didn't kill him, it was the rage had kind of faded off. At least kind of frenzy. I can see I've been playing a lot of werewolf where I get to frenzy all the time.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, we were just sort of talking about I don't know, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
All right, so sorry, I'm back. So your father says to you because you're not strong enough, and he tries to pull the sword from your hand, but he can't because you're, he's lost a lot of blood. He's weaker.
Okay.
Than he should be.
I'm going to Edgum's still there, right?
Yeah, he's he's a passive spectator to this.
And Sim is still there, correct? He has.
Sim is terrified. He just tripped over the wheel, and he's on his ass, kind of sitting up. I'm also unwilling to, or unable to assist.
Okay, I'm going to point to Sim with my left hand, so I'm still holding onto the sword.
Yeah.
Go get Alena! And I'll point to Edgum. You too, and if I hear you don't go, you're next!
Edgam scurries the fuck out. He runs out. Sim goes to get Alena. So let's shift over. Actually, let's keep this in real time. Fuck it. All right. So yeah, they're both gone. It's just you and your father who's looking at you with literally you're touching hands almost, because his hand is still over the hilt unless you've pulled it away.
Yeah, I think I probably pull away just enough so he can't grab it again, but I'm still pointing the sword at him. And, Brandr just keeps thinking, Alena will have an answer. She'll know what to do here. She'll, like he's just totally distraught. He's like on the edge of just oblivion.
You've proved your point, boy. Drop the sword. Drop it. Now.
And I just start visions of, like, every single time I couldn't move my arms or I couldn't move my legs. I was bedridden. All the pain, the bandages. And I'll just swing the sword at his hand as hard as I can. Not at his head, not at his chest, just one of the hands that beat me over and over again.
Okay. What's your aim? Is your aim to cut deep, or is your aim to threaten?
I think my aim is to try to cut his hand off.
Okay.
Cut off one of the hands that abused me over the years.
So as he again tries to reach for that blade, taking a step forward, you react. It's almost like he's, in your head perhaps, you've seen that hand raise more than a few times on you, and even as he lunges, not lunges, but as he reaches his hand forward, reactively you do something that you've never done before, and you kind of intercept that hand, not with yours, but with the sword, and you slice right through. You sever at the palm, all 4 fingers still connected to one chunk of meat, so all he has is a thumb that twitches out as blood squirts. And now with one arm cut to the bone and one in the opposite hand, just a thumb, he drops to his knees and holds, he touches his hand to his chest. Since he can't wrap it with the other hand, he kind of presses it to himself, his eyes wide, shocked, surprised at what you have done. And his lips are quivering. He makes no real audible words, just like a seeing what you're doing.
I love you, Father. You never show it. I look down at the hand and I look back up at him, and there's probably tears coming down my face. I'm breathing really raggedly and almost hyperventilating, and still you can just that anger to my face is now just unsure again. I'm not sure what to do. I'm in a bad situation, and I'm just standing there with the sword with his blood dripping off probably the hilt now. It's probably run down to where my hands are.
Okay. Scene shifts to Alena. You're at the table still. And in comes a running Edgam. And as soon as, before he's even at the table, you hear him shouting from across the room, Brandr's killing Dad!
I look up startled, because I was already on edge, because it was taking way too long for him to get here, and I was constantly fussing over Nasum and Marianne. I look up.
What? He's killing Dad. He turns back towards where he just came from, and he points out. Marianne is she grips her face with both hands and cries and Nathan just very passively, blank faced, watches his slightly older brother as if he's completely detached from emotion.
Where is Marcus?
He cut Dad's arm right here and kicked his face in, and he left, and then Brandr came in, and he's got Dad's sword. He's gonna kill him.
Look after your brother and sister. I run off.
Okay, so you're running off. You approach the blacksmith in your fast pace. Your cat kind of follows behind you, quizzically, being in your shadow, kind of his head tilted up to stare at you at what's going on, unsure. And you enter the scene where Brandr's holding the blade and your father's on his knees.
Why, Dad? Why did you do it? Why?
Brandr!
Alena! Stay down! Stay back!
I'll run towards Brandr. It's alright, it's me. Drop the sword.
He needs to die. I don't, but I love him. I don't.
I look at my father. What do I see?
You see a very frightened old man with a chopped through arm. It's still hanging on, like the bone is still there. The cut is fairly deep and it's all red. His whole arm is crimson. The other arm has a missing hand. And your father, it looks like he's lost a lot of blood. He looks pale. And though he's fearful, it's odd. He can still be, I guess, aggressive in his fear. Like, the way his face is twitching is the same way it twitches when he's angry. And though he has no hand to harm you with anymore, there's still that edge to him, at least from your perspective.
I stare for a moment at father. It's probably not the first time I've seen him wounded, but it's the first time I've seen him more or less mortally wounded and at the edge of death. I'll look at Brandr and...
What'll I do? What'll I do? What'll I do? I don't know what to do.
Your father, now in a moment of clarity, stares at you. You weak bastard. Fuck. And he spits. He doesn't like intentionally spit, but like he's spitting as he's talking, like blood coming out of his mouth.
The sword shakes and tell me what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Why are you such a fucker? Why are you such an asshole? Ah!
Take the sword.
I walk towards
Alena.
Brandr. Make the hurt stop, Brandr.
How do I do that? I don't know what to...
You've got the power. Use it. Use it now, quick!
Die, you motherfucker! Die, you fucker! Die! Die! Just stab him, like right in the mouth.
Okay. The sword goes through the mouth, out the other side, shish kebabbing your father's head to the blade. His wide eyes, not at all defiant, just fearful, as you end his life. Take it away from him. And when you pull, or do you pull your sword back? Because right now he's impaled on it.
I think I just probably let go of the hilt and just crumple down at the feet of him. Just lay there breathing.
I'll hug Brandr.
No more. No more. It's over. It's over. No more. No.
That's right. It's over. It's gone. He's gone. Shh. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. It's alright.
And Brandr will just keep just weeping, and he'll sort of have this like 1,000-yard stare. He'll just be like looking out, like an angle into the open area around the blacksmith shop, like not even seeing what's there.
As you're looking into the open area, you realize that it's only going to be a matter of time before someone walks by and sees this, since it is an open area. The news of your father's death is going to spread, you think, quite quickly. And although the majority of the soldiers are at Wood Tower to keeping the place in check, you know that there are repercussions for kinslaying, and it kind of, as right now you're thinking about the fact that it's over and it's over and it's over, there is a portion of your mind that's probably thinking, now what?
I'll tell Brandr to snap out of it, and that we need to move the body towards the bear pit.
Brandr probably won't even respond unless you do something else.
I'll slap him if needed.
That'll bring him out of it. Yeah. What?
Come, we need to move the body.
Just tell me what to do. I'll do whatever you say. Just tell me what to do.
We'll bring it to the bear pit, quick.
I'll grab up Father's hand and shove it in my pocket, and I'll grab his body and hurl it over my shoulder, and I'll start heading towards the bear pit. In fact, I'll probably just run as fast as possible.
Okay, so you guys are carrying the body both pretty quickly. I'm gonna... Shit.
You need to throw Sim there as well. He's a witness.
Yeah, Sim vanished. I don't think he didn't go get Alena. So.
Shit, man. Okay, you bring him to because the bear pit is literally like almost right next door. This is all like a cloistered in area. I'm trying to see. I'm gonna roll a die. If I get odds, then someone sees you guys. Just to keep it. Okay, odds. As you're making your way through, there's a variety of villagers that occupy this space with you. And as you're bringing your father through the zone, I guess you could say, there are some witnesses that see what you're doing. They might not identify their father as being the dead person, but from a distance they see two of you carrying a body.
Well, actually, I think I'm just carrying it myself. And
okay.
I think I guess what I meant to say, like when I ran, I'm trying to get away from Alena.
Okay.
Like trying to just like take it all on myself, I guess.
Is there a ring that my father has, like making him the head of the house?
Yeah, it's laying on the floor with like 4 fingers.
Oh, then I guess it's in my pocket then. Because I picked up the fingers and I shoved them in my pocket. So.
Okay, there you go.
Because Alena will be looking for that ring.
So I guess
where's the ring?
You're still at the blacksmith then.
Yeah, if I don't see it quickly, before you run off with the body, I want the rings. She wants to find the ring on the body.
Okay, so we'll back up a little bit then. All right, so I'll hand the ring to you and then put the fingers in my pocket.
All right.
Hand choke, and then I'll run off as fast as I can.
Okay, so as you're running through the street, you get noticed by some of the citizens. You make your way towards the bear pit. What do you do?
I'm gonna crawl down in the bear pit.
There's a bear in there.
Is that what someone says, or?
Yeah, it's like one of the workers is like, "What are you doing?"
And I just crawl in, like carrying father, which I'm sure is a pain in the ass. I might even fall. We'll just say.
Yeah, let's say you fall.
Let's just say that I get like halfway down, or just right off the top. I just fall in, collapse into the center of the bear pit.
It looks like the bodies that the bear killed, it wasn't eating them, it just kind of like killed them. It's looking at you as you kind of come down with this other body. It lets out like a...
Does, I'm guessing the sword is still in Father's head. Because I didn't
kill the bear. You'll become an Ironclaw. Your parts will be forgiven.
Here's what Brandr's gonna do. I talked about this with Eunice the other day. Brandr is just gonna start stripping naked. He's gonna take every piece of clothing off of himself, just weeping and crying, hurling it in the air. And when he's naked, if the bear hasn't attacked him already, well, I guess I'll ask, has the bear attacked me already?
It's staring at you like it just killed 2 people, and you know that you had to get it. It only attacked him because you made threatening throws into him. So it's if it was hungry, it probably would attack you, but it's just kind of staring at you. There's like approaching slowly and kind of like very low, like coming from its mouth.
I'm gonna hack Father's head off after I pull the sword out.
Okay. Father's head rolls towards the bear. It kind of steps over it. It's staring at you still, approaching you slowly. It rises up on its legs.
I'll just be
down at you threateningly.
I'm hacking apart the body of Father, trying to like dismember it to the point of no longer being discernible as far as what is there.
Okay. You chop it into bits. The bear is still up on its legs, kind of staring down at you, and then it lets out this kind of roar to your direction.
I'll throw one of Father's arms, the one that's like broken and kind of severed, and hurl it at the bear.
Okay. You hurl it at it. As this arm reaches near, it kind of swats at it and it lowers itself down. As it lowers itself down, you see like the front part of its body almost seems to like flex, and its neck almost seems to like lengthen just a bit as it gives you this like loud like. I don't want to make the bear sound like an elephant, but it sounds like a bear.
You said that it just basically walked over Father's head, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna run around and just start hacking at the head, not even paying attention to what the bear's doing.
The worker's like, "Get out of there! Is that? Oh my God! Oh my God!" See, like the worker runs off.
I'm just gonna start hacking violently down into the face of my dismembered father.
Okay, the bear is taking on a more threatening posture with you. Why don't you make me an animal handling roll, or whatever the roll is, if you don't intend to fight this bear, because this bear, new area, isn't really hungry.
All right, I got 2, and I rolled a 6. So.
The bear takes a threatening posture at you again, and you get the sense that he's probably going to come at you.
I don't think Brandr would even notice at this point. He's just hacking, so like he's regretting what he just did, but he's enjoying it. He's probably laughing.
As you're laughing your ass off, you feel paws on your shoulders. Actually, on one of your shoulders, as this guy's taking you from the flank. And you suffer from a attack. And the bear got 11 to hit you.
Is that the attack roll or is that the damage?
That's the attack roll.
Okay, that's right. What's the defensive thing? I don't know. I think it just hits me, man. I don't think I'm trying to avoid it.
I'm just trying to find, I know you're trying to avoid it, I'm just trying to find the degree of success that you would have gotten on 11.
My combat defense is a 5, but I think that's when I wear. No,
you're not wearing.
That's not armor. That's right. What the hell's my armor rating at? Yeah, I guess it's 5. Yeah. But,
Okay.
wait, but I don't have armor on. I'm naked, so I guess it's 9 then.
Okay. Okay. So this one. Okay. So he got 4 damage on you.
Okay, my health is 12, so I guess I have.
Okay. So 8. You're kind of pushed into what's going on. Like your attention would fall off your father, and there's a threatening bear.
All right, I think at this point I probably I'd look up to see if anybody's watching this, if anything's happening.
Oh, the guy ran off when he figured out that it's your dad that's down below.
Or wasn't there a bunch of villagers?
Outside, he's in the bear pit now.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, but I thought they were like looking at the bear pit or something. Oh.
We're like in the street.
Okay.
So I think I don't know. That's just nobody's watching, so I think I just back up and I hold the sword and just stare at the bear.
Okay,
and,
give me another animal handling check.
I got a what was that 8?
Okay.
Remember, if you have destiny points left, man.
This bear.
Now it's not a good time to forget those.
This bear,
yeah.
while it's not conditioned yet to fight in a pit, your animal handling is not good enough to basically pacify it or to make yourself seem less threatening. He is still approaching you. You did pull back, but he is still approaching you, and he kind of swats at the air in this threatening manner, and you can tell that its claws are fairly sizable. When he attacked you from the side, it almost seemed like he might have wanted to pin you down to chop at your face with its wide maw. But now that it's on its all fours, you can tell that one swipe from his claws, that's gonna cut deep.
I think you said that the sword has powerful. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I get a bonus dice for. Is that for the attack roll? Is that right?
That's for I believe.
Just damage.
That's damage. Yeah.
Plus 2 damage then. Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess I'll just. Oh, jeez, I don't know what to do now.
Well, there is. Maybe I should have described this.
Maybe you go to the other guys. I don't know.
There's. Okay. Well, let me take another break because again, I am slightly hungover, and there are some times where I feel like I'm gonna throw up and I don't want to do it. But I'm gonna take like 5 minutes to see if I can force something out.
Okay.
All right.
Take it easy.
I don't know what I should do. Maybe I should just climb back out. I don't know.
No. See, the Ironclaw, there's like some of the Ironclaw NPCs that we created, like some of them have been even like people who've dealt with Ironborn, like that's automatically fucking murder that guy type of thing. But they've beaten a bear in the bear pit, so they've been immediately recruited to be trained as an Ironclaw. And they're no longer criminals. So
oh wow, I didn't even think of that.
By the laws that we put in motion, if you kill that bear, you're no longer a criminal. You're an Ironclaw in training.
Oh boy, where did Marcus go anyway?
Oh, to my woman. See, because I was like sure that father would want to retaliate, so I was gonna go where I would think he would want to strike at me. So I was gonna go make sure the lady is okay. And
okay.
Like now I regret that because I should have been here for this, but then again I might have intervened or something and spoiled all the fun. So
yeah, I don't know. And what's Alena gonna do? Because she, if I don't know. What do you think we're gonna go? I don't know.
It's funny because if we didn't have the scene with Marianne just before Father arrived, Alena would have probably just said like, just leave him and don't kill him or anything. But seeing the fear in Marianne's face and that sort of stuff reminded her of how fearful she was, and it was just like, she didn't want Marianne to go through that again, so she felt like this is the time, and well.
That's cool, because like I didn't want it to just be my decision. That's why it's like, well, what's Rohirrim want me to do? what does Alena want me to do here? Sort of balance out my chaotic nature,
Well, it depends, It all depends if our father was acting differently and stuff towards you, but he was still calling you names and stuff, and it just made Alena more clear on how much pain and suffering he causes by just being there, and how stressful everybody is. And well, Marcus is not like this huge teddy bear hugging everybody, but he's 100 times better than father, that's for sure.
And I think pretty much everybody's like fantasizing about once father finally dies.
Exactly.
But nobody like who wants to go through with actual
and
needs to be done.
To be honest, she thought about indeed if shit happens.
All right, I'm back.
Then we'll just blame it on the bastard.
Yeah, well, I had also thought about, if push comes to shove, if father would ever try to do something to me like he did to my older brother, that's like reason enough to just let him out of his misery. But
yeah, I don't know, man. Zig, do you want to just take a break from me? I feel like I'm hogging the spotlight. So
okay, I'll take a break from you.
No.
You can go with the other guys.
Don't feel like you are, because it's a treat to listen to you, man. Like when you were screaming at father, like asking him about why and all that. I'm just biting my teeth together, like wide-eyed, like oh damn, like it's a treat to listen to you, man.
So you want to leave yourself in suspense at the bear pit?
That might be a good idea, actually. Yeah, maybe we can jump off to that next time. Maybe focus on these other guys for a little bit.
So let's go to Marcus.
Okay. I went to sneak in through the window. I'm escaping all the action now. I'm going to my lady.
Okay, so you get in through the window. She's at the as you're climbing into the window. She would get up from her writing desk, perhaps writing another letter to her brother. And as you climb in through the window, she smiles at you and looks towards the door, which is closed. You could use the door. She smiles
as I push myself up on the edge of the window, and I kind of run.
She says, "What happened?" As she knows, she's your head is turned, and she sees you completely. Your face was at the wheel, on the grind wheel for a turn.
Yeah.
So her eyes are wide, and there's like a tinge of tear to him as she runs up to you and touches the side of your face. What happened? What happened to you?
I'll grab her hands, softly, and I'll just go to sit on the edge of the bed, and I'll just exhale like this. Well, father surely has returned. I mentioned that you were my guest here, and after that I look at her and I give this kind of a troubled smile, this kind of painful look at her, and I'll just say that he planned to take you as his own, and as I stepped in between that and denied him of that privilege, he attacked me, and we got into a scuffle, and in scuffle between father and son sometimes. And then I just hold my hand up and just kind of give her a face like this kind of shit happens type of, this kind of exaggerated type type of gesture. Just
Her eyes are focused on that new wound of yours, injury, and it takes her a while before she meets eyes with you, and her free hand went to her mouth to cover it as when you were mentioning that your father was going to take her, and she says, "What of your father? What of him?"
I left him laying there, shamed, in a pool of his own sweat, blood, and broken teeth.
Are we safe here? Are we safe? She clutches your hands.
I put both of my hands on her cheeks and I look into her eyes and I say, I won't leave by your side until I've taken you back to Wood Tower. But it's still dangerous there. If we were to leave now, we would only leave because it's too dangerous to stay here.
But your father, if he's in charge of your house, then our fates are in his hands. He could come after me. He could.
Shh. Don't worry about it. Like I said, I'll protect you.
She leans into you heavily, and her arms go around your chest as the side of her head goes to your shoulder.
I'll wrap my hands around her, my arms around her, and I'll rest my head on hers, and I'll just say, I've done so thus far, haven't I?
You just hear her sobbing, and then she very weakly, a nod into your shoulder as she responds very lightly, yes. As long as I have you, I'll know I'll be safe. So go on. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that I'll pretty much kind of stay there for a while. I'll keep my arms around her, and this time I'm not immediately going for sex, but I'm I'm totally just comforting her and looking out for her, and I'll just be there for her, not leaving her side, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just stay there, and I think the next time something would happen to me would be when somebody else would come to me or something like that. So unless somebody disturbs me, I'll stay there comforting her, staying close to her, and I also kind of realized during that time that even though even to father when he was asking about her, and I kind of gave this grin of yes, I have a cunning plan type of thing. It's since yesterday it's become more apparent that I have legitimate affection towards her. So it's I'm contemplating a lot of things while I'm holding her. I'm contemplating my feelings towards her, my feelings towards father, and dreading what may come, but at the same time feeling completely confident in myself that no matter if father would come into the room with 3 Ironclaws, I would be able to just beat them down and rip dad's head off. So it's no big deal. I'll survive it.
All right, so Alena,
Yeah.
you got the ring. You're at the blacksmith's.
I see Brandr run off with the body, and I'll return to the tower.
To
Or
the
the
hall.
hall, to the hall, yeah. And I will move into the hallway where everybody else is, at least Edgum, Nathan, and Marianne.
Yeah, Edgam is he's not there anymore. Marianne is crying, and you see Nathan is he's like very passive. Like even though your sister's crying, he's not really consoling her. He's got his game board out again, and he's just moving pieces along it as you kind of come into the room.
Nathan, where's Edgar?
He went off. I think he's in his room. Why? Is father dead?
I need to find Marcus and Edgar. We need to talk as brothers and sisters.
I can get them, I think. If you want.
Do you know where Marcus is? Have you seen him?
He's probably in his room. I didn't see him come through though.
Would you mind getting him?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
He walks off. Obviously, he doesn't come back with Marcus because Marcus is in another place. But Edgam comes back. Edgam's eyes are like red. Even though like he's 14, like I guess considered an adult.
I'll be hugging and holding Marianne.
Yeah, she's crying pitifully into your chest as you're like holding her. But when Edgam comes back, he says, "Did it happen? Is father dead?"
I want to talk to you all when Marcus is here. Do you know where Marcus is? Nathan is looking for him, but he hasn't come back yet.
He shakes his head.
I thought I told you to look after your brothers and sisters.
Give me a sec.
Uh-oh. That sounds like a hasty run to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Zig.
6 blowing chunks, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's not a trail to the bathroom.
You an exorcist.
All right, I'm gonna take this opportunity to change Wes's diaper. So.
Nice.
Similar experience.
Yeah.
Stench and body fluids.
Yum. Beautiful combination.
Yeah. Oh man, this session sure spiked. Like, oh man.
Holy fuck. This is a weird session.
Yeah, it's
It totally changed.
I don't think it's been such a long time since I've last felt like such this kind of a like this is so not what the GM planned to have happen.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's not like one of those realizing what the GM is trying to do and purposefully doing the opposite thing or anything like that. It's again like the opportunity was such that even though we know we've handled Father before, I think he's been the same, pretty much always. But now, when we actually see how much of a prick he is, it's like, oh, we can't let this stand.
Oh man.
Tim went to change Wes's diapers, so.
Yeah, I'm still here, just listening.
Oh, okay.
You okay, Tim? Are you okay, Sig?
I'm glad we're not on Google Hangouts.
Yeah. Oh man, you poor guy.
Okay, so.
Are you alright? You want to continue, or do you just go like, guys, just...
Let's, it's 4 p.m. right now. I was just gonna cut it with the family meeting, but that really can't happen because Marcus is in the other room. And
oh, well, Edgam made the assumption that the Wood Tower girl is a whore, and even though I said that, it's that I didn't want him to hear it. He could piece it together or say something that that would give people perhaps the idea or whatever. We could surely make it happen.
Oh yeah, if need be. If we don't find him, Alena will have servants check every room.
Okay. So Marcus, eventually, it would be Nathan who would knock at the door, and
I would tell
Alyssa.
Yeah, I'll tell Alyssa that or I'll like with my hand on her shoulder, I'll like gesture that she should like sit on the bed, and I'll go to the door because I'm expecting that now this cavalry coming to collect or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have my sword on me because Brandr always takes care of that, but I do have a knife. So I'll grab my knife. I'll like take my knife out of my belt, and I'll put my index finger in front of my lips to like show to Alyssa to stay quiet, and then I'll go and I'll like reach out for the door handle, having the knife at the like ready to stab whoever is behind the door, and I'll creep it open like just a little bit, so that I can first see who it is, and
It's just Nathan. He's
okay. In that case, I'll open the door a little bit more, and I'll press myself against the door, and I'll just look at him with a stone face.
family meeting downstairs. You should come. He looks from you. He looks you up and down, and then kind of takes a step back. Your brother's a little awkward socially.
I'll say, Father attending.
No. I don't think he can anymore.
My face gets a little blanker, like I'm not like squinting my eyes or keeping a scowl on my brow after he says that. I'll nod, and I'll close the door in front of him or in front of myself, and then I'll go to Alyssa, and I'll put the knife back in my belt, and go to her, and I'll say, I need to go and speak to my siblings.
Be careful.
I'll return as soon as I can, and if need be, I'll take you back to the wood tower. But
just be careful. And she nods and kind of gets off the bed, giving you the sense that she's probably going to lock the door as soon as you leave, because she kind of follows you towards it.
yeah. Then I'll grab her by the shoulders, and I'll just go and kiss her.
It seems to relieve her a bit as your lips press to hers. She accepts the kiss gratefully, and her hand kind of touches your still injured cheek, and she smiles at you post kiss.
I'll give her cheek a little caress, and then I'll just go out the door, and I'll stay and listen to hear if she indeed locks it.
Yeah, you immediately hear like a and it's locked.
Yeah. I'll get to the main hall, but I'll have this sort of spring on my step that I really feel bad about leaving her alone there. Like I'm like psyching myself that at any second I'll need to run my ass off to this room and kick the door in and grab the girl, type of thing. So I'm kind of like psyching myself for that, but I do get into the hall to meet my siblings.
So all the siblings are there with the exception of Almer, who's in the north, and Brandr, who's in a bear pit.
I will walk to Marcus as he enters, and I'll kneel before him, and I'll offer him the ring.
I'll look down at her, realizing the reality setting in, guess it's true type of thing, but I'll without really saying anything, I'll take the ring from her hand, and then I'll take her hand and in this gentleman type of way, have her rise up. And
Stand up.
And as she stands up, I'll hold the ring in my between my thumb and index finger in front of us, and I'll look at her and look at the ring in this just looking at both of them, and I'll just say that. So it's finally happened.
Father's dead.
Did he die out of the wounds I inflicted on him?
No.
Then I look at her questioningly.
Brandr had one of his moments.
I'll put my head back and kind of look at everybody who's there, and indeed notice that Brandr is not there, and I'll say, "Where is he now?"
I'm not certain. I believe he went to the bear pit.
To do what?
I don't know.
I'll look at everybody in the room, and I'll look at the ring, and I won't put it on my finger yet. I'll hold it inside my fist. I'll squeeze my hand in the fist with the ring in it, and I'll look at Alena, and I'll say, "We should go check."
Very well.
And with a lot of haste on my pace, I'll get out of the room and I pretty much signal for Edgam to come with me, but I'll signal to Nathan to look after Marianne. I won't use words because I'm in a hurry to get out of the door, but I'll again use my clear signals of pointing fingers and using facial expressions of.
Okay, yeah. So Nathan gives you a nod, but he just goes right back to playing his game while your sister's kind of sitting there, crying into her hands as you leave towards the bear pit. Let's just stop it there, so that way I can lay down and cry as my stomach recuperates from bad decisions.
Oh boy.
And I'm gonna throw experience at you guys, as well as any kind of advice, criticisms that you guys might have about today's game. I'm gonna Rockier, you weren't there last time. The XP output has been updated to 6 per session, so you can retroactively give yourself.
I think you said 12 last time, and we were at 18. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
I guess 6 more from today, right? So.
No, today's going to be 8 more.
Oh, wow.
Because you guys did a stellar session today.
Alright.
Stellar session.
So me and Eunice are at 26.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, guys. So what do you think? What you think of today?
I hope I didn't fuck up all your plans, man. I was torn. That's why I was like, I don't know what to do.
No, it's good. It's good. I didn't factor father dying as part of the story, so that was always something that could happen. So that's why I had a plan already be in motion in case you kill the dad before a plan goes in motion. So it's all good.
Nice. Oh, it was an intense session, man.
Yeah, that's what I was saying to Rachir as you were gone. Like I can't remember the last time when I felt so strongly that, man, we fucked up the GM's plan so bad. But then again, it wasn't like intention. It wasn't fucking them up just to fuck them up. It's like yeah, sometimes things just happen to go this way, It's like, man, if I'm gonna be the lord of the household already in the 4th session, it's definitely gonna change a lot of stuff with me, but all to the I won't say automatically as soon as I get to be the lord, everything is gonna be much more positive because of the power and such, but it's definitely gonna be interesting to see such a shift of what I was able to do before and the responsibilities I had to what they're now gonna be. I can't wait for next Saturday.
Yay. Tim, what do you think of your backstory so far?
Oh yeah, it's pretty wild because I'm not even sure what it is, and I guess that's a good thing. It's like, is this a memory? Is this some strange other thing that I can't even put my finger on?
When I throw hints at you in your background, I always cringe a bit. I always think oh my god, he's gonna figure it out. Oh my god, he's gonna figure it out.
Well, sometimes I'm pretty dense as a player, so it's okay.
Yeah, you even missed Lillian Rivers being my former character.
Yes. You got it. Yay. I was because that's why I made silence on her. I was like, all right, I'm gonna make a former character be involved in the story, and she escaped because Tim's former character basically took the house, and she took Silence with her because Silence is the guy who, he the Iron Cast cut his tongue out. Remember in the army when you guys were doing your defense, and he ran in and he was sign languaging the fact that there's disguised troops coming from the side or whatever.
Wow. Yeah.
Man, I did not pick that up at all.
You didn't? Oh man.
So
I was especially when you said yeah, well, he's really hummy with the Lannisters now. I was like, oh yeah, definitely.
I didn't expect such schemes. I wasn't looking for anything like that, so I totally escaped.
Just to throw the fact that it's in the same world and time has gone by.
So awesome.
Yeah. So awesome.
Yeah, it's like watching you peel an onion or something. I'm not really sure where you're getting at. I'm enjoying it the whole time. I'm like, oh man, this is messed up. Is this a memory? Is this is this currently is I don't even want to guess. I just kind of want to let it happen. And
I'm glad. In my planning for today's session, I was we're a quarter of the way through it, so it's gonna go a little longer. Then it's awesome though. We didn't really get to everything I wanted to get to, but it's all good. It all works out in the end.
It sounds like my sessions. I have 20 little bubbles at the top of a page. These are all possible things that might happen. Plus anything the characters do that I don't expect. You know? So yeah, that's cool.
Awesome, guys. I'm gonna close this off because I really need to lay down for a bit.
Yeah, man.
Sure
Hope
thing.
you feel better.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
See ya.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Close.
Right, I guess Zig is getting a call as well now because I just reconnected this. Oh man.
That's all right. He can just deny it.
Yeah, he's getting like his session with the toilet bowl getting interrupted and he has to run for this. But yeah, that was fun, man. Like that was like it was like awesome to just like sit there and even as a spectator to be like, man, this took a turn I totally didn't see beforehand. Like it's just, you know, like a lot of times when you're playing in a game, you're like thinking a lot of things like, oh, I wonder what happens next. Is kind of a, I wonder what the GM has planned to have happen next, you know.
Yeah.
This time it was totally like, yeah, the GM was totally, Zig was out of the wheel.
It's kind of like
there was 3 different people in the car just grabbing at the wheel, driving in all directions.
it reminds me a little bit about where I killed in the former game where I killed the girl I was supposed to marry. But this is like that in like a couple of times more.
Yeah, though with this one, this is still so early in the campaign. It's like, dude, like this is huge.
Yeah, and I was torn. I'm like, oh man, I want to have a bunch of scenes where Father's just beating the shit out of us and making us feel horrible, but it's just I couldn't like, I don't know. I've been trying to play more like my characters would play, and less like I'm trying to play, you know. Sometimes it doesn't always work out, but
so you just shoved that decision into my shoes, like, what do I do, Alena? What do I do?
Yep,
like,
exactly. Well, I kind of figured he looks up to women and holds them on a high pedestal, and you've taken care of him, and he got himself in this horrible situation, and he wasn't sure what was up and what was down. You know, I need some guidance.
Yeah, it's kind of fun now that it's like Brandr swung the sword, but it was Alena who gave the order, and I'm gonna be the guy who's gonna take over after that. So it's like there's a whole triangle of this scheme here, even though it was totally improvised and like impulsive of a scheme. It still is like this this axis of evil working on poor Father.
Oh.
Poor Father, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because like Brandr thought that Marcus was totally going to kill Father. He's like, oh, I got to clean up the mess, you know. And he was actually trying to stop it at first, like, please, no, don't do it. Don't, you know, I love Father. Don't kill him. And then he ends up killing him. So. Yeah,
it was when Father said, you know, what are you gonna be a kinslayer now? Then that kind of cooled off the rage or the blindness of it, you know, this kind of just attacking thing, because you know he does want to be the Lord and he doesn't want to kill Father that bad that you know that he would like give his own life up. So you know it was now he's shamed enough where he most likely wouldn't dare to attack me again or something, at least thinking that. But most likely that wouldn't have been the case if Brandr wouldn't have killed him. I fear he would have, as soon as he could, would have just gone at the girl and dragged me out or something like that.
Yeah, I think Brandr was picturing all the things he'd gone through that Marcus was going to go through, and I don't think he could handle that either. A lot of thoughts.
Yeah, and I just did it for Marianne.
Yeah, that's interesting. That just the fear of her little tiny cute face was, you know, that was all that you could see when you were asked that question by Brandr. You know.
That was it. She was just thinking like, oh, you know, thinking back when she was a little girl, how fearful she was of Father and still is. And the thing is, if Zig would have portrayed Father in a still a little bit more stronger fashion, then she wouldn't have done it. But just now to see his weakness and to see this opportunity, she just thought like, we have to go. This will never be again an opportunity like this.
Yeah. And I also thought, as a kind of from the part of being a player, I was thinking that we've gone so far with this scene already that if Brandr wouldn't go through with it, and then we would like, oh, now we can have those juicy scenes with Father being a dick to us, and then perhaps later go through with this. It would just be kind of like taking the edge off of this scene and just like holding on to it and then using it later again. Like, no, it was well worth it to go all the way.
Yeah, I guess that's maybe what I was struggling with. I'm like, man, I kind of wanted to have all these terrible scenes, but I guess we kind of all wrote them into our background. Maybe that was it. Like,
I know. Me too. I was like, I was very curious about how I was going to play Alena with Father present, because when he wasn't present, she was quite a dominant force, you know, giving orders and telling people what to do and that sort of stuff. And that would have totally shifted and turned on itself when Father was there. She would be the quiet, trying to keep away from him, you know, and that sort of stuff. So that's interesting.
Yeah, it's now that Sim has disappeared, that's like that could be the lynching pin in our future. But
yeah, I
but
think.
then again,
go ahead.
There's pretty much, if I'm gonna be since I'm gonna be the Lord now, it's pretty much, I'm gonna marry the Wood Tower girl, and pretty much the Wood Tower territories will be ours by default. And the family to the north, they pretty much hate the Mormonts guts. It's like, okay, let's next romance them, and then it's like just about taking care of House Rain or in some fashion, and then it's just off with the Mormons somehow. If I'm gonna be, you can be assured, if I'm now gonna be like made to become a lord, I'm definitely gonna hold a melee tournament in the Bear Pit for everybody, every house in the island. And there's a lot of opportunities with that politically and in terms of violence and all that.
Maybe Alena can marry to some powerful lord as well.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe even King Robert.
Aim high.
Yeah, that's what I do.
It'd be kind of interesting. I don't know about how you run your games or here. Do you guys usually run for long periods of time, or do you kind of encapsulate things like Zig does?
No, we play pretty much day to day. So, and it's a continuous thing, really. And I have to say that, of course, there are waves. So, you know, there's this things happen and it climaxes and then it turns down again, but then something else turns up, you know?
Yeah.
So we never really finish a game where we say like, okay, you know, we'll leave it here. Usually after a while we'll just go like, we really feel like playing something different or something. But that usually a game lasts like for, I don't know, 2.5 years.
Wow, I'm envious. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because you can really see your plots kind of come to fruition with that much time.
Yeah, then we play pretty much, you know, we take jumps in time sometimes, but usually it's, we play pretty much every Monday, and then we play like where we left off. So, that's, we play in quite high detail of that sort of stuff. You know.
Did you mean like the campaign lasts for a couple of years, or is it like the in-game adventure takes about a couple of years of the character's time?
Both, really.
Okay.
Because
I guess people were talking about skipping time and such. So
no. Usually, of course, the in-game thing takes longer. Is a longer span of time. But usually in a gaming session, depending on how how focused we are and how much action there is in the thing, it will usually play like about 1 day or something.
Yeah, it's like the Cthulhu Tech game that I ran. I only realized at the very end of the campaign that, man, in terms of the in-game time, it pretty much took like a week.
Yeah.
Because like each session was pretty much half a day of the in-game world, because we did a lot of the mundane stuff. We played all the lunch breaks they would take from work when they would meet and talk this and that, and detail about, oh, I want to order this and that, and every time they would go, because it was like detective stuff, they would like spend a lot of the time interviewing like people, like witnesses, and that sort of, there was a whole lot of stuff that was fairly mundane and not very like adventurous in the way that, and then we sail here and here, which takes so many weeks that we can just skip that, and it's like this long period of time. But
you mean like exactly in like journeys or something, when do we move from point A to point B? I give people time to play out mundane things, but and I usually throw in like one interesting things happen in the journey or something, but then usually we skip some time, because you sit on your horse, you ride, and not a lot of interesting stuff happens in those things.
I have a lot of players that sort of give me the glare, the look. Whenever things are too mundane, they're like, all right, hit the fast forward button. And I'm always just I don't know. It's like, come on, guys, just like, be your character. No. Like you're hanging out on the fire. Or you're, stuff.
It's kind of, I've noticed that there's a lot of like these kind of too bad type of things where people, who get almost like browbeaten by, people who have like pretty much bad habits when it comes to playing, like stuff like that, like, oh, come on, there isn't enough stuff happening, so we're bored, type of thing. Skip time and hurry up and that sort of thing. The same was when I was in the Marvel thing with Brady. I was kind of like saying that there's really nothing outside the game that you're not like, there's no hyping it up. There's no like, hey, what do you think about this and this about the game? And oh, here's a picture of this NPC I just created. And this sort of like fuzz that we almost always have, and which keeps up the inspiration and Brady was talking about, well, in my old group, people would scrutinize him if he would do stuff like that, like, man, let's leave the gaming to the gaming night and stop bugging me with this stuff. And that has like painted this kind of, oh, I better not create too much fuzz or the players won't like it type of thing. And when you have good players, that's the exact opposite. Like, no, don't take these pointers from these people who like half-ass give a fuck about the game, type of thing.
Well, I know even with Zig sometimes I have to like slow him down. Like he's trying to like hit the, he's rolling with the description. I'm like, like I'll hit the, I'll unmute my mic, and then it's like, then I mute it back again. It's like, well, okay. I can't get in there yet. Oh, no, not yet. But then if I like really have to do it, I'm like, Zig, hold on.
Yeah. It's whenever like, you declare that you're gonna do something, and then he starts to describe what the NPC or whatever is doing, you feel like really soon he's gonna describe what he's doing in such like detail and length that he's going to describe something that actually takes time. Like he's going to describe how he puts his hand on a sword and then pulls out the sword, then throws back his hair, then says something and spits to the ground, and you're like, while he's doing that,
yeah.
But it's good.
I'm actually, I have to tell you that I used both your characters in my own game.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I was the group I'm playing with on Monday. They have like this. They have this house also in the north on the stony shore, and they're on this border or this next to the sea, and Alena actually met the heir of that house during a feast at Winterfell, and because of her fear for her father, she actually fled the house and went to a trading ship to that dock. And then she was there, and the player was hiding her out. And actually, Marcus and Brandr came over there to see if she was there, because so it was kind of playing your characters and stuff. So it was awesome. It was real fun. Yeah, it was cool. And actually, Marcus, you were more or less romantically interested in the one of the player characters persons.
Oh well, of course.
Yeah, because you went like because you were this very dominant kind of person, doing your power walk all over and stuff, and you were actually kind of taken by her. And you said like, wow, huh? I was here looking for my sister, but I might actually leave with a wife.
Yeah, you need to take all these kind of storylines that are, in this game, and then just detach the NPC that they're with, and then just find, because now they're the NPCs.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I like that Alena has sort of filled the Brandr role. She's like the plotter and the schemer, and she's working on things like a slow burn in the background. I like that a lot.
Yeah. I'm hoping it'll get time to ripen and stuff and take shape, because I'm not 100% sure Zig got actually why I was interviewing all those servants and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Because he was like, no, there's nothing interesting, and I was like, really? There's no servant there that I find like, I'm not 100% sure that guy is trustworthy or something. So, but I felt like,
I think maybe next time you need to just approach an NPC and offer them a position, maybe something like that. Just be.
Well, actually, no, she wasn't recruiting yet for spies. She was more like, doing a house cleaning. Trying to find if any other household is having spies in our house.
Yeah.
So that's what she pretty much was looking for, and seeing if she could find anybody, and then pretty much leave it to Marcus if we want to kill them or keep them.
Yeah, and it would be kind of too bad if it would only be like this kind of mention that, and in the meanwhile I'm building a spy network. You really want to role play that stuff,
Yeah, definitely. And I want her to go to these brothels and stuff, and make them her informants and that sort of stuff. So that's
I guess what's kind of tough is Zig has sort of a timetable, like he tries to do like 10 sessions or 12 sessions, that sort of thing. So you kind of have to like okay, how much time do I have?
Yeah, I got to put the speed on this. Yeah.
But it's like, I don't think like he could stretch it, and I'm sure his idea of what the cap is gonna be on the campaign is still way like vague enough where we don't need to feel like we don't have enough time or room to do a lot of stuff now. So
I just remember last campaign, I think me and Rahir were kind of the same way. It's like, oh, please don't end it just yet. Come on, let's play a little bit longer.
Yeah, I actually was also like let's not have the the ceremony at the end and all of that be like this just mention and then you have the ceremony and that's it. No, let's role play that out type of thing,
Yeah.
But it's like with my Cthulhu Tech game as well, it was kind of like left in the middle because it was like this at the end it was like, okay, you gotta escape the city, and once they escaped the city and everybody was like calm, and the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna look for a hiding place and hold on there and that sort of stuff. Then I ended it with the describing that the car drives past the camera like this, that was also something where I felt like there was still a lot of stuff the players could have done after this, but I felt like whatever they would do after this would be like the groundwork for a second campaign. Like everything they would do after this would be like every story thread got finished from the campaign type of thing, and everything they would do now would either start new threads or be just kind of fluff stuff. So
Yeah. I do have to. I always feel bad about not coming back to characters. The thing with say with the werewolf and with our first game for Vampire the Dark Ages and stuff. I can understand that you are somewhat different in this, Jonas, because you didn't really have like this really huge connection with your character and stuff. But all the games I've played over Skype with you guys, it's like, oh, I would just love to go back to those characters and continue on with that story.
Yeah, and of course, it's especially once the campaign is over, it's like you still like the character so much, but at the same time, once the new game is like when it's time to play a new game, it's also there's the allure of creating a new character. But it's like with the Vampire Dark Ages character, like you said, like I don't feel like wanting to go back to that character all that much. And with Sir Alistair in the last campaign, I just felt like if I would go back to him, it would be like I don't know, like I don't have really all that much against going back to him, but it's like I'm also not craving it. Like it was fun playing him, but at the same time, it's like the real focus of the story was still in the House Seitel, and he wasn't really part of that, and in the end he really had no reason to return, and especially after Lily told her secret to him, it's like I better steer clear so there's no like blackmail in the future of any kind. So it's like I would return to Alistair most likely if the game would be set somewhere else or on another family or something like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brandr might be one of the first characters I've ever played that I kind of felt that way about, where I just didn't feel like I got enough playing time with him, or I just I don't know. Like I think kind of like the way you feel about your characters right here. I kind of really felt that way about Brandr, or not Brandr, Burton.
Yeah, I actually, when you mentioned Brandr, I was immediately like reminded of thinking when you jumped into the bear pit, like, please don't kill yourself.
Yeah.
Like, please don't feel like, oh, there's nowhere to go for my character anymore but this, or something like that. It's like, no, not too soon.
Well, maybe I don't know. We'll see what happens. He's a pretty strong combatant character. But it's a pretty big bear too, so I don't know. Maybe he'll fight him a little bit. And
do you have those destiny points?
I think I have one left.
Yeah,
one that's
all it takes, man. That's all it takes.
One that's unused, and so I guess I could probably use it and then burn it if I get really desperate.
I can see like this nice image of you with scars and things all over your body, just standing there naked with this sword and this body of this bear lying at your feet, and this main body of our father in the corner. Nice.
Yeah, I was like completely like, what the fuck, man? When you were just when the bear is coming, like, be scared of me, and you're just focusing on wailing at the severed head. It's like I can imagine the bear looking at you like, really, seriously.
Hello.
This is kind of messed up even for bears, man. What are you doing?
And I like blew up laughing when you like I'm gonna go take care of the two witnesses there, and you were like walking them, and then all of a sudden, best seats in the house, and just threw them overboard. It's like, oh man. I thought I was going overboard with attacking father, but man, I was like a total kid compared to you.
Oh boy.
Hey, you guys, I'm having considerations about something I might do in the game I play on Monday, and I actually asked the players on if they go like, because it's kind of nasty, and they have this character which is played by one of the players, and it's supposed to be their social powerhouse. But the player that plays that social powerhouse is somewhat of a reactive player. So
I think I know who that friend of yours is.
Yeah, so there's just this thing like, okay, but I have this beautiful idea of what could happen, but I also don't want to fuck them up too much, because the heir of that house, played by one of the players, is engaged to a woman through trickery. Is engaged to the woman in their bordering land, and now all the players, so all the children of this important house are present at this other bordering house. So they're the High Pines. And so they're all there, and they're all guests there and stuff, and the High Pines know that the heir doesn't really want to marry this woman because, he's been tricked into it. So I was thinking it might be a really nasty thing that they actually force their hand in marriage whilst they're there, so that during the meal, they say like, wow, this is actually not a normal meal. This is actually a wedding feast.
Oh man.
and so that they would actually have to go through with the wedding, and they probably don't have the social skills or aggressiveness to get out of it. Do you think I should do it or just be nice?
Well, they could. It's Westeros, so being nice isn't always the best way to go. But
in terms of the players, if they would enjoy a challenge like that, I guess then it's something like I've had experiences where I threw like storylines at a player that revolved around them getting romantically interested with an NPC, or rather that NPC becoming romantically interested in their character, and I didn't realize that the player was somebody who had a lot of social anxiety when it came to the opposite gender and that sort of stuff. So even though they could role play it, they didn't feel at all comfortable doing it, and were felt like legitimate anxiety during the session. So challenge is great, but if the players are if the player is somebody who even if they play a social powerhouse, if they're somebody who who wouldn't be comfortable at all in that sort of situation, it's a separate thing then.
Yeah, well, it's not so much that they're not comfortable or anything. It's not like they're ashamed of stuff. We, we play a lot of quite in-depth kind of things, but it's more like I'm quite. I can be quite a nasty bastard when I'm a storyteller. Because these High Pines, which are actually somewhat less of a powerful house than they are actually just, making all the choices because they're actively manipulating and setting things into their favor. And so they're already in very, really annoying situations because of that. And this is just going to add on to that. But I'm thinking it really fits the overall plan that the house, the Lord of the High Pines has, because he wants his daughter to be married to this guy, and pretty much get an heir in her, and then pretty much just, take over the house.
What I like is that it will make them make a desperate decision.
Yeah.
You put a challenge in front of them, and it might be more than they can handle, but that's good, I think, sometimes, where it's like, wow, they are forcing us, like sort of like they're carried along with a wave, and they need to somehow get behind it, but they don't know how, so the wave just keeps pushing them forward until they do something rash or risky, or like your character did, you kill the person that you're supposed to marry.
Yeah.
So I don't know your players though. So like Eunice was saying, somebody might not appreciate that as much.
Well, I've had they've given me the complaint that they sometimes miss the success factor. That they're always, they survive and they manage, but they haven't had they sometimes miss the wow, we really did this great thing.
Is there any other rival house to these High Pines that could perhaps aid them? Maybe they don't want the marriage either?
There are, but they didn't inform into it.
It's tough.
Well, it's as long as it's not this kind of a GM just throwing like a challenge, they wouldn't even know what the players should do or could do to get out of it. Like again, referring to like past stuff that I've done, like I've given the players like challenges where I don't know how to get out of that situation, and I just trust that the players will come up with something that's, even if it's not something that works, will be imaginative enough where I'll allow it to like succeed or something like that. But I've like had the players like fall into like bear pits, like these, like or whatever, wolf pits in the woods, and have crossbowmen above the pit, and they're like, what the fuck can we do? We can't climb, it's too muddy, and that sort of stuff. And then it just turns from not to excitement or anything, it just turns to frustration of this like the GM needs to have that consideration in mind, that the players need to
I should probably have to wrap up. Okay, guys, wifey's home, so I'm gonna head out.
Okay.
So
all right, man. Take care.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Yep.